Welcome to the Gaming Outsider Podcast. This week, Zach, Jacob, CB, and I debate when a title should be considered for Game of the Year when its early access release and 1.0 release fall in different years. In news, there's some shady business going on with Subnautica 2. At least that's our perception of it. As for new games, CB played Death Stranding 2. Also, Sean and Paul stopped by to tell us about Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3+4 and the early access release of Ground of Aces. This is the Gaming Outsider. Greetings, programs, and welcome to the Gaming Outsider, a video game podcast with a focus on our incredible community, which can be found, by the way, at thegamingoutsider.com. We've also got a community on facebook.com/groups/the GoCast, and even a Discord server. As always, there's a link in the show notes of this very episode, and we hope you join it. It is Tuesday, July 15th. I'm your host, Scott Clark, and joining me are my good friends, Mr. Zach Parkerson. How you doing, sir?
I'm good, man. I'm just doing my best to be a punk rocker.
I'm glad to hear it, man. Also joining us, Mr. Jacob Gunderson.
My knee is on fire.
Keep your knees away from hot engines,
on
man.
Fire.
And Mr. Chris Behrensmeyer. Chris, what's up, dude?
Oh, it's going to be fun.
He is actually on fire.
Fun.
If this is your first time coming to the Gaming Outsider, we are very happy that you were here.
It's terrific that you're here.
It's terrific. Little spoiler alert for what your thing at the end of the episode is going to be, I assume.
Why, yeah, I said punk rocker. CB was doing the fun song, I assumed. You know,
Yeah.
I was not picking up on
It's
that.
kind of a Superman cast this week, I think.
The comic book nerds kind of aligned, and Scott just missed it entirely.
So which character am I? I'm Crypto, clearly.
Yeah, you
Get a dog in him.
You're not that kind of dog, though.
Oh,
No,
come
no,
on.
no.
Actually, no, you know what? Scott is very much Hawk Girl.
Wow.
Just
Okay.
screaming all the time.
Screaming and doing cool stuff.
Okay, so let's get into the games that we've been catching up on. Chris, you've been gone a bit. What have you been catching up on, man?
Ooh, well, sorry. Power Wash Simulator. I played all the DLC.
Like,
Yo, how's
even this
Croft Manor, though? Huh?
It's great. Yeah, SpongeBob, Wallace and Gromit,
Wallace
Warhammer,
and Gromit.
the Final Fantasy VII one. There's quite a few.
You must have been loving that Warhammer 40K DLC.
Dude, it was
Yeah.
sweet.
It's kind of like reverse painting.
It is. The Wallace and Gromit one is a little weird though.
It's a claymation.
It's kind of weird to watch like slightly claymation things.
Hmm.
Yeah, wouldn't that ruin the play? You could remold it, right?
Yeah. But there's like a lot of tiny little intricate bits in that one, so it's very hard to find like the right position to like wash the things off.
Sure.
So it's a lot, but
We will find
I
the right
played.
position.
We did. But yeah, I did it all on my Asus ROG. So I have discovered that thing is an achievement hunter's best friend.
Why is that?
It just sounds like you sneeze. I did it on my
Uh,
Asus ROG.
No.
Yes. Well, because I can play Xbox on the go.
Who knows, dude? Jacob, sometimes you just got to roll. He's got to roll with it, dude.
Yeah, you just gotta go with it. But
So yeah, so it's synced up to your Xbox Live account.
Oh
Your,
yeah.
Okay.
So I can sit there and play like everything.
I thought you meant there was like some kind of tracker in there that helped you guide for certain achievements.
Well, I mean, as I'm playing, it sits there and gives me like notifications, or I can go to the
so
home
does my
screen.
Xbox.
But I can go to the home screen
Uh-huh.
because it's basically like a little computer, and I can have the achievement lists up on like what to do.
Yeah, I can
Just
have
flip
that on
back
my
and forth.
Xbox.
Can do it really fast with this.
I can have it on the same
can't play your-
screen.
Can't play
But
your
I'm
Xbox
not.
in the ambulance, bro.
Yeah, I'm not tied to a couch in my basement. I could be pooping at work.
I
and playing
understand
my
what you're
Xbox.
saying. I'm trying to understand how the Asus ROG is giving you more advantages to gain achievements, is what I was trying
Because I have
More time to play.
more time now. To
Okay.
play.
to. Okay.
It's all the time. That thing has not left my side since I bought it.
I believe you.
They are now attached to the hip.
Yes. I mean, I have a belt clip for it.
Also, we went to Video
There's
Game
a
Summit.
term that I would use, but I'm not allowed to say it on the
Is it
show.
nerd?
No.
Okay. Because nerd is acceptable.
Nerd. Dork.
Yes, I am.
I'm sorry.
Surrounded by toys. I am.
I'm sorry, Scott. I derailed the thing. What were you talking
That's
about?
what we do. We went to the
Video
Video
Game
Game
Summit.
Summit.
Video Game Summit.
Yay!
Met some of our vendors that are going to be coming to R2V2 and picked up a couple things for ourselves as well. CB, you got quite a haul.
Yeah. So
RTV2, do you mean the Rock River Valley Video Game Convention that's held in October at Rockford, Illinois?
On
yes,
October 11th, to be precise. Yes.
Oh, okay.
So, but yes. So I'm officially declaring it here. I am on countdown for Super Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
As
How
of
many-
this moment, I am 43 away.
From a complete Super Nintendo collection. That's
Wow.
awesome. So once you
That's
do
still a
that, you
lot.
will own every Nintendo cartridge game outside of Switch. Every cartridge game.
Every main
Yes,
console,
Switch
not
and
handhelds.
Game Boy and
Not
Not
handhelds.
handheld. Yeah. Okay.
But the main release console line, the Nintendo, Super Nintendo, done. For North American releases, at least.
And Virtual Boy.
Yes, and the Virtual Boy.
Nintendo 64.
Yep.
Yeah.
Already done.
It's impressive. 43.
Yeah. So if anybody out there is listening, I will gladly shoot you my list so you can help in the hunt.
Aaron Hughes is calling you out in the chat. He says, not to be that guy, but everyone on the show calls it by the manufacturing team. It's an Asus ROG product called the Ally.
Technically,
Yes,
if you want to go that way, it's the Ally X.
Okay, so it.
So you sneeze and then yell ally. Got it.
Oh my God.
Asus ROG Ally.
X.
Also, I had a conversation with CB earlier today, and he's
Ooh.
going to get on a bit of a soapbox today.
Ooh, yeah, it's time for soapbox. Kevin, prepare the beep.
No.
No.
I-
Settle down.
If I get too heated, it's there just in case.
I'm gonna smack.
So for those that don't live in our area, there's a store and a chain locally called Disc Replay. Specifically, there's one in Rockford that is not affiliated with the ones in Chicago, as we have learned. It is a franchise.
Okay.
If you want to show, this is a company that normally sells like DVDs, Blu-rays, video games, retro games, and everything. For a while, I've been kind of heated with this store because they like to chase out the people that like to spend money there.
Which is an odd business strategy.
Yes.
What do you
They're
mean
very
chase
much
out?
like, so when you get like rare games and everything, normally you put them out on the floor, or like people that are looking for games, you contact them and be like, hey, like we have this in stock. Would you like to buy it?
Sure.
And Disc
okay.
Replay used to do that. They actually had my
Yep.
name when I was going for my Nintendo complete set. They had my list of games remaining, and they would call me and say, hey, we got a copy of this in. You want us to hold it for you? Like they would
Oh, that's pretty
remember,
cool.
and they had it on file. It was a really personal touch that, you know, we tried to do when I worked at TNT Games, but Disc Replay was actually really good about it.
Yeah. Former management and owners used to do that a lot. It was great. Recently they started changing their like how the store is laid out. They brought in all
remodeled.
new staff. They remodeled. And they also do this thing called Vault Days. So like when rare stuff comes in now, they just hide it behind the counter and they don't sell it until it's Vault Day. And then you're allowed one item.
Yeah, I went to a Vault Day once, and they basically line everybody up outside, and everybody gets a ticket for like what order you get to come in the store, and whoever is number one gets to go look at the vault stuff and pick one thing that they want to buy, and they get to buy that one thing if they want to, and then the second person does, and you know,
Yeah. So I mean, it's from an idea standpoint, you're giving access to a lot of people, but the problem is when, like, I'm there for Super Nintendo, and Scott's there for Switch, and Jake's there for this, and it slows the.
He doesn't even
process
know what I
down.
collect. What a terrible
Armored
friend.
Core.
Oh, shut up.
Congrats! I know what you collect. Be quiet.
And on a side
So-
note too, they CB mentioned they recently remodeled, and if I'm not mistaken, they remodeled with and then promptly fired one of the guys that was working in the store that we knew really well. Like after they put him to work and had a
It's
remodel.
like remodeled.
Wow,
Congrats, you're
of course,
fired.
Yeah.
Classy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So fast forward to today. I go in there. I hadn't been in there in a while. And as most people know, I collect retro video games. So I'm in there looking at some of this stuff. And first I hear a conversation happening with a couple of the store employees regarding a trade-in. And they were kind of rude to this person on the phone. they quoted him an obscenely low price for something. So I understand businesses got to make money, whatever. Go be Rick Harrison. That's fine. So when they hang up the phone, they start like making fun of this customer in the store. Like,
Mhm.
oh, like who would buy that piece of like crap? Like, I can't remember the exact words they used, but I was just like, I was already kind of off put by this. So next, I'm like, you know what? I'm done. Like, I picked some stuff out, like found a couple things, a little high price because their prices are ridiculous. But I found a few things that I was like, you know what? I'm okay paying this right now because with eBay and shipping and all that, it's going to be the same price. One of the two people involved in the conversation proceeds to pick up the games that I'm buying, which granted, yes, like a couple of them are kids' games. I need them for complete sets.
Sure. Okay.
Proceeds to show it to the other employees and goes, what kind of stupid idiot buys this stuff?
Wow.
In front of you.
It's pretty blatant.
Yeah. And I'm just sitting here like, I was so tempted to just be like, you know what? I'm not buying. Like, I literally then decided to be kind of a troll and be like, okay, cool. Like, I'm going to split this order up 3 ways. I emptied all my points out of my account. I'm not going back to that store until like either that place burns to the ground or somebody else buys it out. And I used to spend an obscene amount of money in that store under the old management.
It's
Well,
just
and
it's
the
awfully
other thing
brazen
is-
thing to do as an employee, I would say.
Yeah. So I'm just kind of like, I'm done with that store. So I'm going to make it my mission now to just start going around to some of these stores and giving like a fair, like an honest review of like, is this a good store? Is this a bad store? And right now, Disc Replay, you get negative stars.
Well,
Like I do in our D&D game.
Huh?
Like I do in our D&D game. Is this
Yeah.
a good store or a bad store? I'm going to steal from it.
Oh my god. Well, and like the second half of the store is mostly like pops and toys. It feels like you walk into a used toy store.
Like a half or a third of the store is just pops.
Mm-hmm.
Is this where we went when I was in town briefly, Scott?
You were there, yes, Zach.
Okay.
That's where I got my copy of Concord, if you remember.
It feels like
remember.
a junk flea market store now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, it also seems to show like I picked up like action figures in the back that were the exact same, but they had different prices on them and stuff. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
They just don't seem to care about anything there, I would say.
No, it's just price, throw it out on the shelf. They don't care. They don't care about their customers. Like if you went in and started asking them, I would expect at a video store or a store that sells video games, like have a little bit of knowledge, hire some staff in that has some knowledge on this kind of stuff. Granted, not everybody's going to know
it. To make fun of customers, especially in front of them.
Oh, I mean,
it's so weird.
At least like go in the back room and make fun of people. Like, don't do it out.
Exactly. You wait until you leave, and then they make fun of you. You know?
Yeah.
That's,
you
that's,
say
the time-honored tradition.
So, but then I forgot to tell you about this, Scott. So I'm even more appalled by this. I went next door to the GameStop.
Uh-huh.
GameStop's always, because that GameStop right next to them is actually the retro GameStop here in town. They send employees in there to take photos of all the games on the wall. And then they go in there and buy them out, bring them to the store and mark them up. So they are officially more expensive than GameStop now.
Wait, they're buying games from GameStop and putting them in their own
If GameStop
store?
has something listed lower than like price charting, they're buying it, taking it next door, and then raising the price.
Man, that is a ballsy
Dude, it's scummy.
approach.
Because like I watched one of the employees come in, like literally photographing the sections of the retro games, like going through and searching them. And there was one of the games that I had looked at. I'm like, oh, it's a little lower the price charting, but the condition wasn't great. And so they probably like buy it, go print out a new label for it, like Disc Replay is known to do, and then charge complete in box price.
Man, okay.
Dude, I'm so over that store. So that's my soapbox for the minute on why I will not be shopping at that store, and I cannot recommend them anymore.
And to be 100% clear,
just the Disc Replay in Rockford, not
Rockford.
the ones in the burbs.
We actually met another group from the burbs when we were at
Downers Grove location.
Downers Grove location. Those guys knew their stuff, and they have committed to their store being nothing but video games. They're not doing toys, and they're not doing pops. I don't even know if they're
Yeah.
doing movies.
Well,
at
no,
that
no.
store.
They said that's not their primary focus. They will occasionally buy them if it's stuff that like will actually move or is decently priced. They're not
Mhm.
like, hey, we're gonna buy this rare $1,000 SpongeBob pop that's gonna sit there forever and
Yeah.
like eventually just lose value.
Well, let's move on. Jake, what have you been catching up on, sir?
I have been playing a new game called Motor Town Behind the Wheel. It's a little, I don't, I wouldn't say poorly made, but it's definitely, I think it's from South Korea, and they use, whatever the engine that everyone's been using recently.
Unreal 5?
It's no, the little one. By the way, it's very polygonal.
Polygonal?
Sure, that word. But it plays great. It's a game about driving different vehicles and doing different jobs around a town, and there are bonuses you get for doing certain jobs to build up population and the workforce and all that kind of stuff in certain towns. So it behooves you to spend time in a town
Mm-hmm.
and actually do different types of work there. Like last night I was being a police officer, which just you do a little patrol, and then the game gives you like, oh, here's a bad guy, and then you chase him down and turn on your little sirens and stuff. Or I was driving a bus earlier before that, and you just go around the town, pick people up, and drop them off at another place. But it's just
Is this like from the wheel, from behind the wheel view, or is this isometric above the car? How are you?
you can do whatever, however you want it, whether
Okay.
it's first person behind the wheel or third person behind the car. But either way, the part that I like about this the most though is you can go and start a company, so you can put NPCs behind the wheel and have them go do different jobs to better increase your value to the town.
Mhm.
And then you can take those cars that you buy and take them to a shop and tune them, adding new parts, adding different parts, adding more powerful engines and all that kind of stuff. So there's a lot of customization that can happen with the vehicles that you buy and just make them better at the jobs that they are already doing.
Okay, you digging it?
Oh, yeah. I was playing it a couple hours before we got on.
Oh.
I can't get enough of that game for some reason.
Nice,
Sounds
man. I'm
cool,
glad
dude.
you're enjoying it. Moving on to Zach. I'm really intrigued. You got quite a list here, and
I do.
I'm particularly interested because a couple of these are recommendations for me. So I want to know if I made right choices or not. But what have you been
Okay.
playing?
Well, off the bat, I've been playing a lot of Mafia 3. Trying to replay all the Mafia games before Old Country comes out. This game, I was disappointed when it came out because it had a really good story, but the gameplay structure is just outrageously repetitive. It's just you kind of taking down businesses and then a lieutenant, and then taking down businesses and a lieutenant, and it just kind of got old. But this time, I'm breaking it up with the DLCs, which I had never played.
Mm-hmm.
And those are much more like mission-oriented linear affairs that you would find in more traditional open world games.
Sure.
So I'm breaking it up with that, and that really helps the pace, let me tell you.
Okay.
Because then you kind of get a little very narrative-heavy reward after you do all the racketeering busy work.
I fell off pretty early on that game when it
Yeah,
came out. I was really excited for it.
Because of the structure?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's that was a rough one when it came out.
I finished it.
Yeah,
I
I
believe
finished
you.
it too. Yeah, it's
I thought it was
didn't.
pretty good, but yes, I do agree that it does get kind of repetitive after a while.
Yeah, but here and also the first time I played it, I was making sure to do everything in every district, and I'm not doing that this time because it really like the structure is kind of like, hey, do you like those Far Cry strongholds? But what if that was the only thing you could do in Far Cry, huh?
I mean, that was my favorite thing to do in Far Cry, but
Right, but it would mean less if it was all you could do.
that's true. That's true.
Yeah. So, but anyway, the DLCs are really cool. There's like a spy story that has you go into the Caribbean jungles. There's one where you're basically just murdering an entire small town racist police force. That was pretty sweet. And then now I'm investigating a cult. But yeah, it really helps a lot. And you get to see kind of different sides of Lincoln Clay, who was already a great character, but now you get some more depth with him. So, dude, I'm actually really enjoying my time this time. Is what I'm saying.
And when does Old Country come? Is that next month?
It's first week of August. Yeah,
First
August,
week
I
of
think it's August 8th. Yeah, better get on it, son.
Mm-hmm.
And then I play Dungeons of Hinterberg.
I'm not
as
familiar
well.
with this one.
Got the platinum. This is Zelda.
Oh,
I mean, it's pretty. It's the premise is it's like the Swiss Alps, But the 25 magical dungeons showed up one day, and so you have to like solve these little puzzles and combat challenges inside of the dungeons, but then at night you're just like hanging out with people in the town.
Kind of like, I'm looking at it right now. It's like cell shaded, kind of.
Yes,
like
kind of
Waker look.
art style. Yes, I would say that. It was really giving me like, because the premise of the main character is that she's like an overworked city gal, and she's going to conquer these dungeons as kind of her vacation. To find herself. It was really reminding me of Lake in that sense.
You loved that game.
I loved Lake. So it's kind of Lake crossed with Zelda, and then you can hang out with these characters somewhat Persona style, but it's not nearly as in depth, nor are the characters as interesting as you'd find it in other social simulators. But it was really fun. Some of the trophies were really frustrating. It's kind of like where I was like, boy, I wish I didn't care about going for the trophies when I went into it, because it was one of those things where like, well, I'm only like 3 away, but they're all very grindy and annoying. So that kind of wore me down. But I think it's a very strong game. I think it's on Game Pass, Scott. I think you would like it, because it's there are not a lot of 3D Zelda style games.
Well, and if they are, it's like Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, which it says Zelda in name, but it doesn't feel quite Zelda.
It's not Zelda, as I mean it.
Right.
But yeah, no, I did play that. Good time. Also check out Nobody Saves the World for a few hours.
Yeah, this is one of them that I read, because I think you text me and be like, which of these should I pick up?
Yeah, it was Nobody Saves the World or SteamWorld Dig. And then you told me SteamWorld Dig, which maybe I should have gone with. But the point is, I played Nobody Saves the World.
So you completely avoided my recommendation.
No. Well, I think you had the game that I'm going to like more. So I was like, maybe I'll just play this. Because this is kind of a good background game, getting tired kind of game.
Okay.
Because it's sort of just numbers go up, the video game.
Right. Which is why I enjoyed it.
Yeah. No, I'm liking it as well. I like that you have to like, because in the game you have a bunch of different forms you can change into,
right?
And you can level those forms up, and as you level the forms up, you get access to more forms to transform into.
It's like an interesting structure, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, what's interesting, the structure about me is that like in order to level up those forms, you have to do specific tasks, and it always it makes you engage with the character kit in a deeper way.
You get little checklists for each form, if I remember correctly.
Right, and they're usually pretty low barrier, so you're getting a constant dopamine, good feedback loop over and over again.
Right.
And then the actual like dialogue, the actual game is very funny, which I wasn't expecting, and it actually like nails the humor. So it's just like it's like a nice light feel good time.
Yeah, it's not like overly oppressive. I mean, some of the bosses get a little hairy, but never overwhelming. You just grind your way, go grind some other levels, do something else, and then come back to it later. So it's tough, but it never feels oppressive.
Yeah, not too frustrating. It could be like sometimes I get in my own way where I'm like, no, I'm going to get all of the mermaid tail slaps, even if it kills me, and then it does kill me like 20 times, and I'm like, probably smarter to just do this later, but no, I'm going to do it now. But yeah, no, that's a really fun game, I think.
Glad you're enjoying it. That was on my top 10 that year.
Yes, and then topping one of your top 10s was Children of Morta.
And this one I'm really curious.
Oh boy, I was really enjoying what I was playing. But have you ever just not been in the mood?
My wife has.
Hey, there was something about like this game where I was like, I'm liking everything it's presenting to me, but I just don't think I'm in the mood for a roguelike structure right now.
Oh, okay.
So it's kind of an unfortunate meeting, but it is on my list of my backlog. I put it towards the top to get back to because it's just unfortunate where I'm like, yeah, I think I would really, really like this game if I was in the right mindset, and that's just not the mindset I'm in right now.
I was that way the first time I played XCOM. Everyone was raving about XCOM, and I bought it. And then I sat down and I was in the mood for an action-y type game, not a strategy game. And for some reason, I've never gone back to XCOM or XCOM 2 just because it reminds me of that one time I sat down and just couldn't do it. It's a good game.
Yeah, XCOM Enemy Unknown, fantastic.
Right. I just was not in the mood at the time, and I've never been able to get back into it for some reason. So,
well, if you find the right time, head back. That's what I'm going to do with Children of Morta. I'm going to head back when I'm more in the mood.
Yeah. Isn't that you played a little bit? Isn't the animation just really interesting for like how
Yeah.
pixelated it is.
I mean, the pixel work is great. I think it's fun. How you can you just see the family hanging out in between your runs.
And that narrator.
The narrator's great. Yeah, no doubt. But yeah, I just wasn't not in the mood for a run based randomizer right now.
Gotcha. Well, I hope it clicks with you later on, because I think the storytelling is really interesting in that. It's not like it's not so much like the overall story is fantastic. It's just the way they're telling the story, and there's always something going on with the family, and a lot of it feels like it's not necessarily directly involved by you. Like just random things will happen, and all of a sudden you're in a story beat, and I just think that was really interesting.
Yeah, or even like I unlock the third character who's like the son of the family.
Mm-hmm.
But it's nice you kind of get like his piecemeal, getting himself ready to go on those runs. Like as you die, you kind of get rewarded with some story development,
right?
Which is cool. Yeah,
I just absolutely, and I've said this 1,000 times before, I love how that game not forces you, but rewards you for going out of your comfort zone. Because I don't know if you've gotten far enough to see or understand the family traits that happen that move up faster if you were using a character that is used the least. So you're basically you're developing a family trait quicker if you're using a lower level character. So the ones that you're not using as much, that you're not familiar with, or maybe their attack style is not your brand. Like I'm always a ranged guy, right? So I gravitated towards the ranged character in that game.
Oh yeah, I was using her too, the archer.
Correct.
Yeah.
But then I can't remember if it's the son or if it's the brother. One of them is a melee combat, like he just fights with his hands, like he's a monk type character.
Yeah, I don't think I have him yet.
And I was like, there's no way I want to play with that character. But I realized that if I did, I would increase the family trait, which affects every character, not just that character, but all the characters. And so I did it, and I was like, oh, actually, this character is pretty cool. And you start to learn what each character does, and you get familiar with each of them. It's a brilliant way that game kind of keeps you engaged and forces you out of your comfort zone and rewards you for it. I just really appreciate it.
I love when games force you to change things up.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't force you, because you still can do what you want to do, but you're not going to get rewarded as well.
Right.
You're not going to grow.
Maybe if they had like a fatigue mechanic where like you couldn't use the same character too many times in a row or something.
I think that is in there. That might be. I can't remember.
Well, that was then that would be forcing you.
Yeah, I think there is a debuff.
Is there? Okay. I completely forgot about it. I mean, it's been 5-6 years since I played that game.
Long time for sure. Yeah, I think on the up in the menu it reminds you about the updates every time. I think it's like 4 or 5 years.
Crazy.
Oh yeah, crazy. Long time ago, dude. But then and then we've also everybody but CB. Sorry, been playing Baldur's Gate 3 in our weekly sessions.
Which I'm not going to be there for the next 2 weeks. Unfortunately, you guys are going to be playing. You get to play. You get to play as my character, Zach. You get to play my cleric gnome for a little while.
Oh yeah, I bet I'll heal.
I mean, I've been trying.
He's been doing a good job.
I've been trying to buff you guys. I just don't have a whole lot of buffs yet, like useful buffs. I'm very early on still, so
yeah. So spoilers abound, I guess, for Baldur's Gate 3.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys need? I need some damage, and I need a little bit of healing. Here's a shield.
I don't have anything that increases damage.
How you doing?
I think it gives you like a 1d4 or something like that to your
the guidance.
Yeah,
I don't know. But since the last time we played, we did we resolved the Tiefling camp situation.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
that was last week, where I had brought Mintharis to the camp to eradicate everybody, but then I got cold feet. I felt bad. I couldn't murder.
Because she wanted to murder children, right? And you were like,
yeah, it's like a kind of a bridge too far. No matter how great she seems in certain aspects.
Mm-hmm.
But then we drove. So then I switched sides at the last second. She called us a traitor. And you guys Scott, you hadn't seen this fight before, right? At the gates,
correct? I think we kind of fended him off for something, but it did not fight her.
Yeah, because she was there. We exploded her.
Mm-hmm.
But a big problem, we had to fight that orc off who was throwing goblins at us.
There were like goblins in barrels, and he was chucking the barrels up at us. So on our second attempt, we finally decided to attack those barrels first.
Yeah, so we got eradicated the first attempt.
Mm-hmm.
Then I think I threw a void bulb down there, took care of him. That was fun.
It was fun.
So yeah, I saved the tieflings. We killed Mintharis. So it's 2 party members that have been killed off so far because we lost Holston. Right?
Halson, yes.
Yeah, Tolson. So
Yeah.
2 potential party members, I guess.
Well, you're talking about Mintharis?
Yeah,
Yeah, she's not one. I don't think
She's not a party member, no.
she can be.
She
Can
can
she?
be?
Yeah, I mean, yes, I've heard about her as a party member from other people who have played the game.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah,
Womp womp.
I think you just have to be evil.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
But yeah, as confirmed in our chat by Aaron Hughes, yes, she is a party member.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So you're just killing off party members left and right. I did 1. So you've already done twice what I've done.
Twice the damage. Well, dude, I don't know. Look, a bear attacked me. I can't help that there happened to be a dude in there.
Well, you know how hard it was for us when we were in
He wasn't
there to
in the
not-
bear per se.
Like
He
when we came
was
across
the
that bear, we all knew it was Halson. And we weren't
Yeah.
going to tell you it was Halson. We just let it roll with what you were doing, and all of a
Uh-huh.
sudden this bear dies. Or didn't he turn back into
It
Halson for a
yeah.
second? And then
He goes back into Holson, and then Zach was just like,
well, guess we're killing him
"No,
anyway.
death. We're gonna
I
keep,
don't
we're just
remember
gonna
them
keep
transforming.
pushing."
I don't know what you're talking about. You guys are making this up.
Uh-huh.
The fight only happened because it was a Kevin that was in jail, so I was trying to speed through the conversation to go help him out of jail. But then I guess I must have just ignored Halston or something. Whatever. That's how it rolls, though. I guess
Birdball.
D&D. Stuff's gonna happen.
Yeah,
Didn't we have another epic battle in that one? In this last playthrough, I remember because there was like the oil on the side and the ogre that was coming around. Remember
we
that?
We fought 2 minotaurs. I remember that.
Mhm.
Minotaurs, yeah.
That was bad.
This is a
I don't
different.
remember.
No, I think it was that same battle you were talking about earlier with Mintharis. Because remember, the one ogre like crashed through the gate and was coming up.
Oh
around
yeah,
to
yeah, that's
attack
right.
us.
And then we can't remember who, but somebody put down some oil to trip him.
I think there was a thing of grease on the
yeah.
way.
And then
and
he tripped and then shot him with
sent
a
the
fire arrow. Was that Jacob
Grease
who
the
did
fire
that?
arrow, yeah.
So Jacob saved the day. That was
That,
pretty
the
cool.
whole way that battle on the second try worked out just felt really, really cool. It was awesome.
We thought we had a slight advantage because it didn't look like the ogre was going to get through that gate door, but he got through there.
He did.
Well, and
So
then
was-
we're playing with the karmic dice on, so like we roll good a couple of times, and then the next time it's like, oh, we really need a good roll, and it's like, no, screw you.
Yeah, you guys don't deserve a good roll.
There's really no reason why I should miss this attack, but guess what? You missed.
Dude, but I
You
guess the big thing of the last session though was we fought that evil witch because she was being
The
weird.
hag.
The hag. Because she was being kind of weird. So I just straight up attacked her out of nowhere.
I wasn't even in the room. All of a sudden, Zach's like, "Well, I attacked the hag."
I stabbed this forest woman in the back, and she
Yeah,
transformed
dude,
into a
she
hag.
didn't
I
seem
knew I
right.
didn't trust her.
Was I not right?
Oh, you were right.
Yeah, dude, she didn't seem right to me. So and then that girl she was keeping hostage disappeared, and then she was just like, "Hey, what can I sell you?" I was like, "No. I'm stabbing this woman." And then I was right.
And what was her reaction after you defeated the hag and rescued her?
Well, hold on. First of all, yeah, I was supposed to say props to us, okay, because we killed a bunch of those really tough guys and made the hag run away.
Uh-huh.
That was a pretty impressive victory, okay?
Oh, you're gonna call me out here, okay?
No, I wasn't going to. I don't remember. Did you do something bad?
Yeah,
He
remember the
attacked
mask?
the air.
Oh, you did.
I
Oh
took
yeah.
him-
Oh yes, because we went non-lethal to save people's lives on the way in because this hag had mind controlled people, and then Scott read this note that's like, "Man, I hope I don't put on that mask because then, I'll be under the witch's spell." And then he took
I
the
took
mask,
the mask off.
even though my first instinct was like, "Well, that's gonna kill him," but Scott didn't talk anything over. He's like, "I'm ripping it off," and then we just killed this innocent person. Shout out, thanks, man.
In my defense, there was a bush right next to her.
-1 rescue.
Yeah, -1 rescue, dude. I was trying to be a good guy. I was
Yeah.
trying to make up for almost killing kids.
That was my bad. That was my
And you
bad.
made me kill an innocent
So
person.
I know we're still like in Act 1, but are you like enjoying it? Looking forward to the sessions in the morning? Like, is this?
Yeah, no, it is definitely fun. It is. Again, my only criticism is like that because we have a full party, I don't get to know the other party, but that'll just be a different playthrough, right? That'll just be a different.
Yeah, I would
experience.
recommend like on your next playthrough, just play through by yourself. I
Yeah.
haven't even done that yet because it will feel so weird to go through a game on your own pace after going through an entire game with other people.
I bet combat will be a lot faster.
Oh yeah.
I bet there will be no 90-minute fights.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Well, not only that, but then you're not at the mercy of having other people decide what they're going to do with their powers. Because I know we're kind of going through like, hey, can you do this? Hey, can you do that? You know, whatever. But like when you have all 4 characters and you know what they all do,
right?
You're just like, oh, I need this character to do this. Okay, cool.
Yeah, but I'm definitely having fun for sure. It's a good time.
Well,
but the woman we saved, not happy about it. I don't know what that's all about. She's gonna sell her baby to bring her husband back, which isn't. I'm not sure the math works on that.
I know exactly where you're at. So
we'll have something to look forward to, I guess. Later on in the game, I assume.
Did we resolve that? Like, are we past that? I can't tell you because I want to tell you what we did on my last playthrough. Aaron Hughes from the real quick though. Aaron from the comments said, use the unlimited party limit and all the companions and conversations mod. You can get pretty much all the companion stories done in one go. That's it. That's great advice, Aaron. If you're playing on PC,
that sounds absolutely chaotic.
There is mod support on console. Whatever they decide to bring over. However, I don't know if the 4-person ribbing each other constantly dynamic is the best way to get to know these characters anyway.
Interesting. So can I tell you what we did in that playthrough in that section when we played it?
Did you kill her?
No, we had. Can I tell this, Jake? Are we? Is there more with that character? I don't remember. I don't know if this is spoiling it or not.
I would assume she.
The hag?
No. The girl.
I assume she comes back. Yeah, but
I have not in my playthrough. I have not met her again.
No, I didn't meet her again. I just are we okay? So I'm probably safe to tell him what we did.
You probably told me before anyway on the show.
Okay, probably. So his body is there, is like somewhere there. We
actually walked past it.
Yeah, we actually used Speak with the Dead and talked to him and had a pretty interesting conversation.
Well, this might steer how we play when we get back. I
shouldn't have said anything.
I'm sorry, because I have like a trinket on that lets me speak with the dead. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Now you're like,
I won't do it. I'll pretend I never heard this. All right?
Honestly, I don't even think we can, because there is something that we need to get to his body, and I think because we killed her, we can't have that.
Okay. Well, maybe you can't do it anyway.
Yeah. All right.
Tune in next week, but we got to get going, guys. Let's go ahead and head over to the week's news.
Angry CB Volume 2.
Yes.
Sorry, Scott.
What?
That's what the news section is this week. Angry CB Volume 2.
Angry CB Volume 2.
Oh my gosh. Oh, yeah, probably. Over on the Gaming Outsider website, you can read about Square Enix investing in Beta Dwarf for Vault Breakers. There's also some news about Project Motor Cars at Goodwill Festival of Speed. Stalker 2 gets a PS5 release in late 2025. And a new game called Adaptory is going to be at the Indie Game Booth at Gamescom in August. It releases on PC shortly after. As far as new trailers, there's a game called Where the Winds Meet. It has a closed beta on July 24th through the 30th on Steam. It's also coming to PS5 later this year. And Occlude is already out on Steam and itch.io. In terms of industry news, Microsoft seemingly shutters Turn 10, developer of Forza Motorsport. Crafton is acting a little fishy about Subnautica 2. And laid off staff at the developer King has been replaced by AI. CB, I'm going to give you first crack at stories so you can get your anger out of the way.
Microsoft can jug a piss.
I found out about this story from CB. He actually texted it to me and just went on a tirade over text.
Oh, dude, I'm so pissed.
Which one? They're featured in 2 news stories.
They are.
So they're shuttering Forza Turn 10. Developer Forza Motorsport, which is one of my favorite series. It's one of the first things I bought when I got an Xbox.
Oh, boy, pour one out, man.
So supposedly they've laid off 50% of their staff, like 120 jobs, leaving behind just a skeleton crew. And the reason why is because Forza Motorsport is supposedly not doing so well in the live service model. Guess what, Microsoft? Forza Motorsport isn't supposed to be the live service model.
But I guess
That's what Forza Horizon was for.
Well, and I guess they're making more money on Forza Horizon, aren't they?
Why? It's just going straight onto Game Pass.
Yeah, dude, I don't know. I don't work there.
I'm so pissed because like it's a racing sim. It's always been a racing sim. And they're like, well, it needs to be a live service model. No.
Well, and Horizon's a little looser. Is that the difference? Like a little more arcadey? Is that the difference?
Like Forza Motorsport? No, not so much. But Horizon, most definitely.
That's what I was saying. Yeah.
It's like we're going to race around the countryside, do like the little multiplayer, like we're going to race these laps or do a drift thing or like jump and take photos.
Probably a little bit more
do accessible. A drift thing.
We'll do one of them drift things, bro.
Right.
It's just,
do you even shift, bro?
Right. No.
You better watch out or I'll be gone in 60 seconds.
It just makes me upset because like Forza Motorsport has always been like a great, they put so much time and effort into researching the cars and like how the cars like act on a track. Like between that and Gran Turismo, like legitimately two of the greatest racing sims made out there. I think Forza Motorsport 4.
Mm-hmm.
They had the DLC for the Top Gear guys,
right?
Where they had like Jeremy Clarkson and Richard Hammond and James May all come in and like do like little voiceover narratives as like you're exploring these cars, and like they talk like the doors on a Mercedes, like it's straight up just a racing simulator. So for them to shutter it based upon the fact that it's not doing well as a live service model game is just dumb. And I mean, the Turn 10's been around for over 20 years.
Right. They're one of the preeminent studios of Microsoft. And they were internally baked, right? Which is not the case for most Microsoft studios.
Yeah. So this just seems like such a dumb choice and a stupid idea. Because
it's just insane to me, even though I'm not a big Forza guy, because I'm just not into simulation racing that much. But I feel like that for some people, this would be like taking Gears for me.
Right?
Yeah. Or Halo. Like it feels that huge of a axing at this point.
Do you think maybe it's because Xbox putting all their games on PlayStation now? If Forza Motorsport and Gran Turismo are on the same box, maybe it's some kind of space-time tear, some kind of continuum.
Well, you can't have two on the same platform.
Yeah, it's a crossing the streams kind of thing.
Yeah.
I would have loved to seen them finally go head to head with those two.
Yeah, I agree.
And it's sad because, like I said, I've bought every Forza Motorsport, like not Forza Horizon, but Motorsport. Like on launch day, I've bought every single one. And like some of them, the collector's editions. Like I love Forza Motorsport. And to see it being taken off, like for essentially a side game, to me is just dumb. It would be like, again, Gears being replaced because like they're like, oh, the Gears mainline, we're replacing that with Gears Judgment.
Yeah.
Ugh. I mean, don't knock Forza Horizon, man.
I'm absolutely going to knock Forza Horizon because I don't want to play live service games.
I never thought of Forza Horizon. I mean, I know there's live service elements in that game, but I never used them. I just had fun driving around and but like, I don't know. I preferred Horizon.
Cool.
Personally.
You can keep Horizon. I wanted Motorsport.
I'm not saying I'm cheering this on. I'm just saying, like, just because something is going away doesn't make the other one bad.
Well, for me it does, because it's killing the thing that I love.
I hear you. I understand.
If I'm not going to be happy, then nobody's going to be happy.
Right. Exactly.
This
is Angry CB 2.0 right now.
Yeah.
It's like getting mad at NCIS just because it was more popular than JAG. It's not NCIS.
JAG. Oh man!
Just because the spinoff gets more popular than the main line doesn't it's not the main show's fault.
I forgot that show. I forgot about that show. That's crazy.
Jag,
what was it, around for like almost 15 seasons,
something like that. Yeah, was that like Naval Court? Good stuff.
Judge Advocate General.
Is that what it stood for?
Yes.
I never knew.
I like how he says that like you're an idiot. Like everybody knows what JAG stands for.
They say it in almost every like, oh, this is the Judge Advocate General.
Oh, I didn't watch it.
Dude, I
Oh,
watched
wow.
the one episode that was a backdoor pilot for NCIS. So I think that's the only time I watched JAG.
This is the Judge Advocate General. These are the stories. Bum, bum.
Yeah. Right. Executive producer Dick Wolf.
Like,
All right.
When he says dun dun, it immediately starts playing like the Ted part in my head.
The Ted part.
What?
Ted, like Ted.
Like Ted with like Mark Wahlberg when they're making fun of
Oh
Law
my
and
God,
Order.
Ted.
Oh,
Oh,
the movie
Let's
Ted.
break
Teddy
some
bear.
laws.
Oh.
Anyway, let's move on to Jacob.
Didn't see that coming.
Jacob, what story would you like to talk about?
Let's talk about the Subnautica 2 stuff.
Oh man,
What? I can't talk
This-
about things I
this
like.
story is just so bizarre to me. Like,
I
I
mean,
mean-
scummy company
This is-
volume 2.
This is just the week of anger.
Dude, I couldn't
Um,
find any stories, I swear, that were nice.
That were nice.
yeah.
So last week, the two founders of Unknown Worlds, Charlie Cleveland and Max McGuire, were fired by Crafton.
Mhm.
Also, the CEO was also let go, Ted Gill. But it turns out that they delayed the game, hoping to keep the $250 million bonus. for
Allegedly.
Allegedly,
right?
I said,
Craft,
I did the quotes. I did air quotes and stuff.
People
Even though I
can't
was-
hear air quotes, man.
this is radio. Crafton alleges
for the most
that it's
part.
because the founder stopped giving a crap and therefore the game was getting worse. That's their claim.
But then we
choose
find
it-
out.
yes, but then also it just so happens that there's a $250 million bonus based on financial targets, which obviously you can't hit if you don't launch in early access this year.
Mhm.
Which does seem a little. A publisher doing that, a publisher wanting to delay a game is pretty bizarre.
It is
Correct. That
and
never
launching it
happened.
in early access.
Never.
I mean, that
This
should
would-
be fine.
Exactly.
Especially-
Exactly.
Especially a
This would
game
be-
that should sell like gangbusters.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
and a game that could happily be in early access for years, and people would be cool with it.
So the new CEO, Steve, whatever his last name is,
Papoutsis,
Papoutsis.
creative director of Dead Space 2,
Oh,
Steve
gotcha.
Papoutsis.
Says the desire of Crafton is to have the very best version of Subnautica 2 available for its early access. While yes, the software is everyone worked on is in a great spot, and I felt like, hey, we should launch this. That wasn't where both parties aligned around. That's a weird way to say that, but anyway, yeah. So they couldn't come to an agreement, so they fired everybody.
And here's the thing: I feel like everything that I've been reading has been like not quotes from these people that were let go or actual information. It just sounds like these guys were like, "We want to get this out because we want to reward the staff."
Right.
And
Yeah.
the publisher is like, "No, we're going to delay it because we'd like to hang on to that money." Again,
Well,
this is all speculatory, but that's
did you hear-
really what it feels like.
Well, Crafton did very publicly. I don't know if you saw they were like, well, yeah, there was a bonus, but like 90% of it just would have gone to those three guys anyway. So like, they were like basically they were alleging like we didn't really take that much money away from those guys anyway. So like, what's the big deal? Like of the regular
So
staff.
you fired them to which
But I'm sure 10% is still what 2.5 million,
25. Yeah,
25 million.
But hey, you fired them
I
all,
can't
so
do-
now
I
there's
can't do math,
250
but,
million out in the win.
Scott, how much is
Exactly.
10%?
Right.
25 million.
25 million.
He's an
10%.
English teacher, not a math teacher.
It's-
I know. I'm not a teacher at
25.
all. Thus, yeah.
It's 25 million.
The 25 million still spreads pretty nicely to the rest of the staff as a bonus.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So either way, which one are they doing that's scummer? They let them go so they don't have to pay those guys their share of the 250 million, or they delay the game so they don't have to pay anybody the 250 million. Again, this is just what it smells like. It's
Right.
really hard to come up with any other situation where a publisher wants to delay a game, because publishers never want to delay games. They are like, get this thing going out right now. We want to
Right.
make the shareholders happy. We
Right.
want to get this out there and get this thing rolling, strike while the iron is hot. This is the first time almost ever. I can't think of another situation off the top of my head right now where a publisher is like, you know what, maybe you should not put this game out right now.
You know what? Let's hold it off for another 6 months and see where it
Yeah.
lines up.
How'd you guys work your time?
Right.
I have a feeling the
Uh,
offices at Unknown Worlds are about to be stocked with all new golden toilets.
But
Well, I don't know, because I didn't even know this until I saw the note here. But the former studio leadership is now suing Crafton, so things
Yes.
could get interesting here.
Absolutely.
he took my thunder.
Although it is important to note that leaked internal documentation does indicate that Subnautica 2 missed key development milestones.
Oh,
So,
Well,
so it does
okay,
sound like it was in some kind of trouble. Whether or not people
Okay.
care, does a publisher care about that? Almost never. Not especially with early access is the
okay.
target.
So let's go back to that. Internal leaks showed that Subnautica 2 missed the milestones after they fired him.
I'm willing to bet.
That also seems weird.
I'm sure we know where those leaked internal documents
Right.
came from.
I'm sure Crafton did leak it, but I'm saying that they were corroborated
Here's
by
a
employees.
leaked memo that I am going to send out to the entire company that says, we're missing certain things on the video game that has to be
Yes,
delayed.
but the reporter of the article that you're
Fantastic.
linked to read about indicated that he asked current employees and they confirmed that those were legitimate. So they did. If you believe the rest of the reporting, then it would make sense you would believe that they did indeed miss development milestones. Is that enough to take hundreds of millions of dollars away from people? Probably not.
If you guys lie, we will pay you the 10% you were going to get anyway.
That 10% is going to go far.
All right, well,
But
and again,
I guess you wear as many tinfoil hats as you want, I guess. But
I mean, if they don't meet the milestones, I don't know how the contract reads. Like, do they have to do all of them? Do they have to meet some of them? I mean, if this is going into early access, no game goes into early access with the expectation that's going to be perfect. Hell,
right.
no, like actual 1.0 releases nowadays.
No joke.
Are released perfect. Like, it just doesn't happen. So
I'm actually like you bring up a good point. Like, I'm curious what kind of milestones you set for an early access.
Mhm.
Like, does everything have a skin?
Right. Yeah, I don't know. They said part of Crafton's claim was that there was like 30% less content than was promised for an early access launch. So they're concerned that it would be poorly received. That's part of their claim. That does not sound like something a publisher would ever care about in history.
So with the arguments that we're going to have later, why wouldn't they? That would, that would be a great, advocate to be like, okay, we're going to put this out here. We're going to get some responses. We're going to get a little bit more funding. Hey, okay, we're going to go back and we're going to fix our game over early access, and then we're going to have the actual release. Boom. But no, you guys are fired.
Early access now.
Done. Yeah.
Yeah, it's you're right. Yeah, if gamers love a comeback story, right? They love paying full price for an unfinished game. Look at Cyberpunk or No Man's Sky, right? Those games are beloved.
Kerbal Space Program.
Yeah, people love this stuff. People love to pay as much money as possible to get the worst product possible.
How dare you bring up Kerbal Space Program?
And this isn't going to affect the sales of Subnautica 2 either, because again, no press is bad press. So even though all this stuff is going on there, as much as a lot of people on the internet right now are going, oh, well, if they let those guys go, we're gonna boycott this game. We're not going to reward those publishers. Number one, you're still hurting those people making the game, because they want that game to do well, regardless of the drama that they had nothing to do with. Secondly, you're full of crap. You are not going to boycott a game that you want to play as badly as you do Subnautica 2.
No one's going to care. Because this is several months away. By the time it rolls around, the court decision, they might have settled out of court by then. No one will care about anything.
This
everyone will buy
is the
Subnautica
kind
2.
that's going to drag on for years.
We'll see.
Honestly,
unless they settle.
That would be great.
The launch of the game could actually get delayed due to the lawsuit too.
Yeah, it could, but we'll see how it goes.
Good.
I'm sure it's in Crafton's interest to just be like, here's a bunch of money. Here's a little bit less than we were going to give you.
Well, then why wouldn't they release it in the normal?
That's why I said a little bit. This is less than we would have given you anyway.
Wow.
Here's $100 million. Now shut up.
So you lose your job and you get less money. Oh, perfect.
I don't know. I mean, $33 million each kind of goes a long way.
Good job, Crafton. Yeah.
I'd be pretty okay with that. All right, Zach, we got time for one more. What do you want to talk about?
I guess we'll just keep the crap train rolling.
This is a terrible news week.
Laid off the staff over at King, developer of a bunch of mobile games. Candy Crush, right, would be their biggest claim to fame. Over 200 staff were laid off during the recent Microsoft layoffs. Most of the level design team was wiped, which is crazy. A staffer told us to mobilegamer.biz. Most of the level design team has been wiped, which is crazy because they spent months building tools that craft levels quicker. But now those AI tools are basically replacing the entire team. Similarly, the copywriting team is completely removing people since we now have AI tools that those individuals have been creating. The fact is that AI tools are replacing people. It is absolutely disgusting, but it's all about efficiency and profits, even though the company is doing great overall. If we're introducing more feedback loops, then it's crazy to remove the developers themselves. We need more hands and less leadership. So yeah, basically 200 people got let go, a bunch of level designers, a bunch of UI team, a bunch of narrative staff, and those that are remaining feel like they're at risk to get chopped even further because they all trained a bunch of AI tools that now are doing their job for them.
Don't be so good at your jobs, guys.
Did you say Candy Crush?
Is that who makes King, right?
Yeah.
King? Yeah.
King makes Candy Crush.
Good. Fire them.
Wow.
They make more than just Candy Crush, okay?
They do. But that's
okay, the people who didn't work on Candy Crush are fine.
You know, I have been very curious about AI for quite a while now. Like I've seen Terminator, right? And it's always been like, oh yeah, that's a fun sci-fi story. Dude, it's getting crazy. And I understand that I'm part of the problem because I like those Yeti videos on TikTok just as much as the next guy.
Right. So you are part of the problem. Then.
I am part of the problem.
But you know, going into that, like it's AI.
We do. There are people out there that don't. And
I mean, I almost said something really mean.
Well, it doesn't change the reality of like every time you watch one of those, you're giving the AI more information to further replace people.
Right.
And that's a decision you're making every time you want to read, or every time you want to read a fun little made up Gaming Outsider book, maybe AI tools. All you're doing is you're helping the AI train writers out of a job.
I don't know. That AI book was pretty dumb.
Hey, no, that's the
CB.
That's the balance call you have to make. Is this joke worth the damage I'm doing in the long run? And for most people, they're not going to care. And
but
that's almost everything in this world. Like, is what I'm doing worth it, or is it going to damage people? Like my gas station that's like 5 minutes from my house that I go to all the time, put in a self-checkout, and I would go in there and I would get one item. I'd go up to the self-checkout, I'd use it, and I'd leave. And one day, for whatever reason, I stopped and talked to the guy, and he was like, well, the more you use that thing, I'm not going to have a job tomorrow. And I went, oh crap, that makes sense. I don't want that. Like I should not be using this because I'm pushing you guys out of a job, and I don't want that. I don't want machines to take over. So I stopped using the self-checkout. Now even if there's a line, I will wait in line because I do not want to use the self-checkout. I want as many.
I'm sorry. I'm actually going to advocate for AI.
Oh man.
I want AI to get better because it replaces the redundant things that, like, if more people had like free time to like things like, hey, like let's think about it, like how to cure cancer. Cool. Awesome.
That's like, fine, but that's not what AI is being used for.
Right. And those people that will replace AI to check out people at the gas station are not going to be curing brain cancer.
Yeah, right. I wish we could train AI to fix roads, but no, instead we're training AI to write TV.
Right.
You know,
and it's being shown over and over and over again that the AI that we're using isn't meant to fix everyday life for us so we can do it better. It's made to replace us.
It's the movie Wall-E coming to life.
Here's the thing. If AI is writing new episodes of TV, great, because all I keep seeing on every channel anymore is reality TV, and that stuff needs to die.
I mean, sure, it's making money.
That's
Aaron
fine.
Hughes in the chat says you don't need AI to do mundane tasks. Those are programmed machines, not intelligence. Perfect. Fold my laundry. Shirt goes in, folded shirt comes out. Perfect.
Right.
It doesn't need to be
that, by the way.
But I'm sure you can use AI. I'm sure you can use AI to figure out the best paths to take out trash faster, but they're not going to do that.
I worked at Woodman's for 10 years. Like that job entirely needs to be replaced with AI. It is the most mundane work ever. Literally, scan, beep. You owe $100.
That's why Walmart has you do it near yourself.
Right.
Where's my paycheck for scanning myself out?
So right there, like, there's a good use of AI. Like, let the computer do it itself anyways. Because Walmart's not going to pay somebody to do it. Like, they're having us do it.
I mean, that's almost a
just
downright
replace it
machine
entirely.
at that point.
I
Like, that wouldn't just be AI. That would have to be like an actual machine. It'd have to
Per-
get my groceries and have to scan it and have to put it away. Now
perhaps
it's even
once
getting
we
worse.
start replacing some of these things, it will force humanity as a whole to start looking for new avenues to implement human intelligence to better humanity as a whole.
I
You were
appreciate-
way more optimistic about human intelligence than I am. Zach's worried about creative art and the writing process going away. Dude, I've been teaching middle schoolers. Nobody's going to be able to write by the time this goes away. There's not going to be anybody left to write.
Well, I mean, I'm hoping there's going to be a revolution of human intelligence and thought, like schools of thought. The problem is the way things are currently going. No, like as a species, I think we're growing dumber.
Well, yeah, duh.
It's the movie
That makes
Idiocracy.
absolute sense.
Feels more and more like a documentary every day.
Well, I mean, we have cell phones. We have the whole of human technology and intelligence in our hand,
watch
and
Yeti
people are
videos?
still dumb as possible.
Yeah, you watch
People-
AI TikToks.
People will still turn around and ask you, like every question in the world. Look it up, dude.
Grok, is
This
this
is
true?
you did not right. You did not learn the tools needed to do normal research on your own to be able to use the internet in a wise way so you can find the answers that you need. So now you have to ask stupid questions that I have to answer, which, years ago was like, go to a library, look it up in a dictionary, use an atlas, do something. And now it's like, you can just ask your phone and
Remember
it's given
card
to you.
catalogs?
Right.
Hell yeah, dude.
Dude, I used to, like, right here on the shelf above my desk, I used to have an encyclopedia set when I grew up.
Encyclopedia.
Oh, okay, Ted.
Botanica.
But again, like I'm hoping for that AI sparks that revolution of like human thought and like
It's not
pushes us forward.
Going to, man. Not to be the pessimist.
No.
here, not to be
Eventually it's going to, because here's the thing: when you have enough dumb people, lemmings is a thing.
So Darwin's going to take over. Is what you're saying?
Darwin was absolutely right, and it's going to happen.
So he's not optimistic. He's hoping to kill people off.
He's hoping
No,
Thanos
I
kicks in
have things will kind of solve themselves.
You want to kill people off? Make an AI video of someone drinking bleach and make it a new challenge, and watch how many people.
You don't need to do that. We had the Tide Pod thing years ago.
Oh, I know.
I just want to note that Zach Parkinson had nothing to say on this. All right, I'm not advocating for any of this.
Yeah, same as Scott Clark. I am.
Look, I don't want people to die, but people need to understand how lacking of intellect some people actually are. And it's not because we're getting more it's because we're getting more technologically advanced. It's because we're getting more access to easier technology that we don't need to be as smart as we used to be.
Nobody thinks they're dumb. We're probably maybe we're all really dumb.
Yeah.
I work at EMS. I see plenty of dumb things.
I believe it.
Yeah.
We have strayed so far off the path of video games at this point. Let's try to steer things back.
It's AI. AI just steered us.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I got one thing I want to mention. It is a game that Mark wrote about. This game called Occlude, Occlude. This game is out now. I have not played it, but I am super intrigued by it. I understand that part of the reason I'm probably intrigued is because of my love of Balatro, but this is a solitaire game that you don't know the rules of the game going into it. Like learning how the game works is actually part of the gameplay, which is really intriguing to me. So I don't even know how this game is structured, and you kind of build it as you go. It just sounds like a fascinating experience. I highly recommend reading Mark's article. It is on thegamingoutsider.com right now. And again, you can buy the game right now as well too. So I think that game is worth checking out. I might, I'm thinking, maybe, I don't want to bring my Steam Deck though.
Just bring your Steam Deck. Stop fighting it. The Switch 2 is dumb.
You're dumb.
I don't know, man.
You're dumb.
I played one at Best Buy, and I thought they were a lot less dumb after.
It's pretty nice.
It's still speaking of dumb people. It might be a little dumb to buy one right now because there's no games, but yeah, it doesn't make you want.
Well, Thursday, Donkey Kong comes out on Thursday.
Yeah, I said, there's nothing worth playing. Definitely.
I mean, the Steam Deck has access to a lot of games.
I know.
I think you should bring the Switch too.
I'm leaning that way.
that's
More
my
for
vote.
portability, and I got a lot of games on there that I would like to play right now. Like I want to go.
The Steam Deck is portable.
And some Switch One games play better, right, on the Switch too. So you could take advantage of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes. But before we move on, I want to remind everybody one more time about R2V2, which is coming up this October 11th. Jacob, can you tell everybody what they have in store for that?
All right, R2V2, or the Rock River Valley Video Game Con, as it was appropriately named many years ago, is bringing everything video game and video game adjacent to Rockford, Illinois. This year, we have everything you could expect. Normal, the trade show, games, arcades, all that kind of stuff. Do we have any artists this year?
Not
I
yet,
forgot.
but we are
Not
working
yet.
on it. We have developers though.
When we went to the video game summit, there were so many people that were asking about artists, and we need to get artists. People love that stuff. And so that's gonna be my mission for R2V2. I'm gonna go find some artists. But anyway, speaking of artists, where musical artists are Jer, a solo pianist out of Chicago, and also out of Chicago, the Adventure Guild and Arc Impulse is our headliner. So the early bird sale is now finished. That ended on Monday, yesterday. Too bad, so sad. You guys missed it. Tickets now.
Kind of feels like you're rubbing it in for no reason, but all right, continue.
My bad. Tickets are now on. Well, I've been talking about it for only like 2 months now. So tickets are now on sale for $13, which is still, it's $3 more. Come on, people. That's for the convention and the concert, and that's until October 9th. So 2 days before. So go and get your tickets. I finally got the Eventbrite thing set up. So now it is R2V2 2025, all one word, .eventbrite.com.
And just to put that in perspective, $13 gets you access to the con, all the vendors, all of the arcade cabinets. You can play them for free. The VR game in the basement. Alan Check is bringing back Catastrophic Inversion, video game tournaments, all that good stuff. Plus, you get free access to the after party where there's going to be 3 bands playing music. Normally a concert would cost you $13. This gets you access to the entire day. It's going to be so much fun. I'm working on getting some panels, getting some developers there as well. It's going to be a great day. I hope everybody can make it. If you'd like more details, head over to thegamingoutsider.com and click on R2V2 2025. We hope to see you there. Also, as a reminder, if you'd like the Gaming Outsider and would like to thank us, you can do so at patreon.com/thegocast. A subscription there for $3 will get you an ad-free version of our podcast, and it will also give you access to any bonus content that we do. Everything we do is just available for you at the $3 tier, and we hope that you check it out. Again, patreon.com/thegocast. And with that, let's go ahead now and talk about the new games that we've been playing. All right, Zach, what games are coming out here the week of July 18th to 24th that people can check out?
On July 18th, we have the gear-gated reinterpretation of Pac-Man. You're going to waka waka on playing that on PS5, Xbox Series.
That was unnecessary.
Switch 2, Switch, and PC. On July 21st, we have kind of a creepy-looking game, The King is Watching, coming to PC. On July 22nd, we have a game that is very clearly inspired by PT, Luto, coming to PS5, PS4, Xbox Series consoles, and PC. New multiplayer shooter Wildgate, where you have like 2 spaceships that are stuck in orbit fighting each other. You can kind of invade each other's ships. That comes out on PS5 and Xbox Series consoles as well as PC. Monument Valley 3 gets off of the Netflix subscription exclusivity thing and onto PS5, PS4, Xbox Series consoles, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. Hellclock is a top-down shooter, but it's a fantasy interpretation of a 19th century Brazilian war. Very specific and therefore intriguing. That comes to PC on July 22nd as well. On July 23rd, we have Wheel World. This is an open-world cycling game. You may have remembered it was announced as Ghost Bike a few years ago, but it's been renamed, and that's going on PS5, PS4, Xbox Series consoles, Xbox One, and PC. And then July 24th, we have Souls-like Wu Chang Fallen Feathers coming to PS5, Xbox Series consoles, and PC. Killing Floor 3, multiplayer shooter that I'm happy will finally come out because I feel like I've been hearing this game get delayed for 5 years straight. Coming to PS5, Xbox Series consoles, and PC. Who knows? It might be delayed by the time this episode comes out. And then finally, a Nintendo Switch 2 game releases: Super Mario Party Jamboree plus Jamboree TV. So
Which, isn't that just a port?
Like it is. That's the Switch 1 game. Yep, absolutely. Came out last year. But Scott, as a Switch 2 fan, are you going to be picking up Super Mario Jamboree, or is there something else on this list that looks more interesting?
Shadow Labyrinth, man. As far as I'm concerned, everything else.
I think that's everybody's pick, right?
Yeah, dude, that game just looks too weird to not go in and see what that game is all about.
For sure. The art style is interesting. It reminds me of Flash animation.
Yes.
Which is, I feel like Newgrounds is coming back. What about you, CB?
Ludo.
Ludo, okay.
It's creepy.
It just had to be different.
I will still be picking up Shadow Labyrinth regardless, but Ludo looks just creepy, and it kind of gives me like the VHS vibe.
Oh man, I haven't seen that movie in a long time.
Like you just there's the like I saw the one scene where you're like looking at the TV in the trailer and you see somebody move in the background. I'm like, oh, I love it.
All right. What about you, Jake? Shadow Labyrinth as well?
Shadow Labyrinth. Yeah. That game looks a lot of fun.
I just love how in the trailer starts out with what looks kind of like an extension of what was that Pac-Man game that was on Xbox Live Arcade back in the day? You know what I'm talking about?
Adventures 2.
Pac-Man Championship?
Championship Edition.
Yeah.
It looked like it's still got some normal just Pac-Man maze elements, and all of a sudden it's this crazy, gear-gated game with these massive Pac-Man. It just
dark
looks
sci-fi world.
Who
Pac-Man's eating
greenlit
people.
this thing? And can we get more weird ideas like this with old properties instead of just the same stuff? Because I think it's awesome.
Turning the hero into a villain. What? Oh,
I mean,
maybe. I don't know. I don't know the story.
I don't know the story.
I personally I'm somewhat interested in this Wildgate because I feel like I've heard a lot about it, at least in my circles. The Hunt Showdown players are excited about Wildgate.
Wow, yeah.
But I don't know, I'm not going to pay for Wildgate. But I would pay for Shadow Labyrinth. Yeah. Game looks too weird not to check out. Absolutely.
What's the price on that? Is it 25?
30.
30? Oh, I still pay it.
There's physical copy if you want to make sure you get, bang for your buck.
Is there?
Oh yeah, you
got just about physical copies of anything.
The Switch 2 cartridge.
That's not true. He's got a bunch of physical copies of Legend of Zelda.
He's got a bunch of physical NES games.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah,
although it might just be a hologram.
Well, a Zelda hologram. Speaking of things that probably have holograms, CB, you've been playing Death Stranding 2 on the beach. How's holograms?
I'm torn on this game already.
Okay, so what was your stance on Death Stranding 1? Are you?
I loved it. Yeah, it's cutie booty delivery duty. Come on, dude. I loved that game.
Right. Okay, yeah. So this is Kojima's latest foray. Why are you torn on DS2?
So I've been playing I've got about 7 hours in this already.
Okay.
And at first I'm like, yep, feels the same. And the game's broken up into episodes, like typical Kojima style. One of the episodes was literally just watching a movie.
Hell yeah!
So
that's how we do it in Kojima land,
dude. Kojima, it's weird. It's delightful. The music of this is also really great. Like that, just background music, like the first one where you're just walking and the music is great.
Yeah. Okay. Good. That's good to hear.
End of episode 2. I got punched in the gut.
Yeah, I actually had that spoiled for me on another podcast. What happened?
Oh, dude, already, I'm
don't
getting
do it.
goosebumps. I'm not saying what happens.
There's a goose.
Yes, he's very silly. But yeah, I was kind of taken aback by that.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how I feel about it. I'm gonna continue going through this. It's so far it's been very much Sam Porter Bridges gets dragged back into delivering packages.
He's got to do one last job.
It's funny you say that because that's how it starts.
Of course, yeah.
You are the best walker we have. We need you to walk.
Dude, nobody walks like this guy.
It's funny because these are all things that are being said in the game.
No.
the porter, like just oh god, there's like a random offhand quote that like only happens if you talk to this one guy, but he's like, he who like he is like, oh yeah, you haven't heard of the porter, he who walks,
He who walks.
and I'm like,
Sam
are
Porter
you
has
talking about me?
or
I am
every
the one who
porter.
walks.
Well, it's just I did get to fight a giant BT already, which
That's
was
good.
fun.
Yeah, it looks a little more action packed than the first game. Would you say that's true?
So it is definitely a little more action packed. And like you the typical game, like, okay, you've been out of it for a while, like you forgot how you do all these things.
You forgot how to walk.
One
Despite
foot in
being-
front of the other.
Despite being he who walks, you have forgotten.
But like all the guns and like things like that have had like new updates from the like Bridges Corporation, and so I'm like, okay, so you're like learning like some of this new stuff. So like the story beats just hit, like it's like, okay, everything seems to be like making sense, like why I forgot like how I play certain things, like do certain things. But I'm like really curious to see where the story's going to go, because in the first game, like we had a clear antagonist like fairly early on. Like right now with the story beats, like I'm like, I feel lost. Like why am I going to keep doing this?
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, like, I didn't think I would be like this dragged and like emotional into the story already. So
that's interesting.
I'm like, especially like the first game, it's like I deliver packages, and this one I'm just like, wow, like this is like, it's really heartfelt. Like Norman Reedus does a really good job emotionally, which is like surprising me for like the kind of characters that he plays.
Certainly not a guarantee. Yeah.
No, don't touch me.
But like there's a couple heavy hits like right in the beginning of this game, and I'm like, I'm really loving it. I want to see where this goes. So far it hasn't felt like I'm like being like, as I've made like close to 30 deliveries already in this game.
Mm-hmm.
But it's there's nothing that I'm like, God, this takes forever, because instead of this time like going from across America to the west, you start out going to Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
So things are a little like, some of the BTs look different, act different, but this game has some like also like,
sombreros.
I was gonna say it, but I didn't want to.
There are a bunch of really fast rodents.
Oh my god, is that a Speedy Gonzalez reference?
That was a Speedy Gonzalez reference. Absolutely. Dude, that guy's an icon.
Oh, that would be terrible. You like cross the border, like in classic Kojima, the music starts, but it's like oh no.
But yeah, I'm really torn on like where this is going to go at the moment, just because I don't. It's hard to like try to understand like where the character's coming from at the moment, or like what's driving it. And there's some weird artistic choices too.
Well, yeah. Have you come across?
No, like when all of a sudden like this character is only in grayscale and everything around them is in color.
Oh yeah. Well, we saw that in the trailers with the one doll character who's like in stop motion and nobody else is.
Have you seen that character yet?
No.
I'm really curious about that character.
I've ran into like some of the characters from the first one, like Die Hardman's mentioned, Fragile, Dead Man.
I have a question, because I've been hearing other people talk about this on a visual scale. Like, I want to know what this game looks like, because some people are claiming that this looks damn near photorealistic, and I can't tell if they're just being fanboys or if it looks that good.
There's sections where it legitimately does look photorealistic. Almost you remember in like Quantum Break where it would be like gameplay and all of a sudden it would shift into like the live action stuff.
Sure, yeah.
There's moments where it feels like that. But the photorealism, like depending on the character, like, or who's being mocapped at the moment, like for some reason Fragile, like whoever is playing Fragile, like her mouth is just so weird. It just doesn't translate to mocap. Like half of her mouth is always open, just like,
You talking about Leah Seydoux?
yeah. I can't remember her name, but
Oh,
there's a couple like close-in shots where you're just like very uncanny valley, like this looks off. But some of the shots with like Norman Reedus, or like when it scans, like pans back out, I'm like, wow, this really does look like a very high quality movie shot. Lou/BB looks a little off-putting at times.
oh, Uncanny Valley.
Yeah, it's just like that I can't tell if that's a real baby or a fake baby, and all of a sudden it'll move, and I'm like, oh god, no. But yeah,
it sounds like you're enjoying it though.
I am. The combat is definitely a lot cleaner than the first one, too.
Yeah, that's kind of. I mean, I kind of appreciated that the first game didn't want you to do combat. You know, 'cause, like, if you kill somebody, like you would nuke the terrain or whatever. If you didn't get rid of their body,
you can also like play this one differently. Like it has this, like, after each mission it kind of like ranks you up, and you're like, oh, your porter ability got better, or your stealth ability, or your combat. So you can choose to play this game very stealthily.
mm-hmm.
I did trigger a void out already.
Nice.
So yep, just went up and like hugged a BT, and I'm just like, friend. If not friend, why friend shaped?
Paul Hine asked, they mocap a baby.
Yes, they mocapped a baby.
Wow.
It's either that or it's, I mean, it's just bizarre looking at times.
I just realized where I knew Leah Seydoux from.
100 things.
I've only seen her in one thing. Well, one in some YouTube clips that I may have watched.
Oh, blue is the warmest color.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, because I couldn't place it either. Now I'm like,
Mission
Yes,
Impossible.
you and every other. She's in James Bond.
Yeah, she's Inspector in the one before, or No Time to Die. One after that.
So not Mission Impossible.
No, she's in Mission Impossible. She is in, I think it was Ghost Protocol, when they're in the skyscraper and they have to do the exchange of the diamonds with. She's the one that wants the diamonds.
Okay, yeah,
Okay.
heard.
Yeah. That's where I knew her from. So
that's definitely not where you knew her from first.
no,
Learning.
Blue is the warmest color is where I knew her from first.
Sure.
So
you and every other dude.
Yeah. All right. Before we go on to the other games that we've been playing, talk to Sean and Paul from our community that played a couple games for us. Got an announcement to make. We are going back and doing a giveaway. As we talked last week, this Thursday is the release of Donkey Kong Bonanza on the Nintendo Switch 2. We have purchased a copy for Jacob to be able to play and review for us. And after he finishes the game, we are going to be giving that away. I actually put together a Google form this afternoon that I'm going to release after this, as soon as this episode is done. So those of you that are hearing this, be sure to look at the socials so you can get a link. It will be in the show notes of this episode as well. All you got to do in order to win that is listen to this episode and fill out the form. And what do you say? What does it mean? Listen to the episode. We don't want to give it away to just random bots on Twitter and people that don't listen to the episode and aren't part of our community. We wanted to give it to somebody that actually listens. So we're doing the key passphrase deal. So on the form, you're going to have to put a phrase in there. And I asked our producer, Kevin, what should the key phrase be that we're going to make people type in a Google form? And his immediate response was Sonic. So,
Of course.
yes. If you would like to win a copy of Donkey Kong Bonanza, fill out the form, and the key phrase is Sonic, just SONIC. That will let us know that you heard this episode. We're not going to put that out on the socials. We're just going to put a link and ask you to listen to the episode. So please do so. But before we get to the our topic, like I said, I want you guys to hear these reviews from Paul and Sean. We're going to play this for you right now. Thanks, guys. Do appreciate it. Moving on, want to remind everybody about our website, thegamingoutsider.com. There you can find all of our episodes as well as our written content, including my catch-up season. I got a review of Maze Mice, Galactic Glitch, and Tomb Raider Pinball all on the site. And Mark's review of Zombie Cure Lab is also available there. Also, we got a review on Apple Podcasts. So gentleman by the name of A Growing Girl Dad, who I believe we know who that is, wrote a review, and his title is "I'm Not Even a Gamer," and he says, "Quote: Scott and the crew make gaming feel accessible and fun for everyone. Even for someone like me who isn't a gamer, their easygoing and relatable conversations helped me learn a lot, not just about games, but also how I can connect with my daughter through her interests. I truly appreciate their passion for gaming culture and the way they make it feel welcome for all. Keep up the great work, guys." Thanks so much, man. Really do appreciate it.
Stop.
That's very nice.
Stop it.
It was very nice. Really do appreciate it.
Appreciate being part of the crew.
And I appreciate you being here, Zach.
But I'll
And
never be a Scott.
you will be for the next couple of weeks because I'm not going to be here.
Yeah.
So you're
You
going to
will always be and the gaming outsider.
Shut
Yes.
up. Okay, well, let's go ahead and jump into our From the Outside In topic. Okay, so we kind of touched on this week's topic a little bit last week. We just kind of had an offhanded comment, and I thought this would be a fun topic of discussion for our From the Outside In topic. We're going to talk about early access games. So I know that this does not happen with every single early access game, but it has happened to some that I've reviewed in the past, where a game comes out in 1 year, and then the 1.0 release releases in the later year. So we wanted to have a discussion about if that game is to be considered for Game of the Year, should it belong on a list for the game that it came out in early access, or should it come out for the year that it released into 1.0 or quote unquote full release? This was a crazy popular topic on the socials. We've had more responses to this topic in a while, and lots of good points. But before we get to those, I want to see what you guys think. I'm going to start with Zach, because I'm really curious what his opinion is on this. Zach, what do you think? Where does it belong?
Yeah, for me, it's I don't know. It feels cut and dry that it should be the 1.0 release date. And early access is just that. Is early access. Like if you do your own personal top 10 list, like we do for our sites, like at the end of the year we do our rundown.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to count an early access game there, more power to you. But when it comes to like an actual curated list, I really feel like it should only be games that are out, because you don't know, like, what if that game hits 1.0 and it's hot garbage? What if it completely changes direction in the third act? The game's just not done.
Well, Drew Ross from our community actually had a similar comment to you on Discord. He said, most games released in recent years could be considered, quote, early access. Am I right?
I mean, it's certainly not wrong.
Right.
Nobody, it feels like when the games don't work at launch, like no one, that's no one's surprised, right? It's always noteworthy when a game actually does just work on release date anymore.
We've accepted it.
Yeah.
We've become callous to it. Like,
right.
Seriously.
Yeah, callous is a good way to describe it, for sure.
I think you make a good point, though. Like I said, if we do a list here, like if I do a personal list, yeah, like put it on there. But for something to be considered for, I don't know, publications or the Game Awards,
the Keeleys.
Yeah.
I think it's got to be out. Yeah, that's my 2 cents.
That makes sense. Jake, what do you think?
Early access. There are so many games out there that already get voted on for Game of the Year or some kind of award during early access that when the 1.0 hits, it's just another day. It's just another update. So what does it matter? And there's a lot of games out there that like that. So yeah, if some games can be voted on during early access, but some games can't be voted on, like you're setting a precedence, and some games are, either better than others, and so they can be voted on during early access, or some games that are bad and they wait till 1.0. But if that, mostly it's indie games, and so if you're going to set a standard, it probably needs to be early access.
That is a good point. Are there any AAA games that get early access?
Depends on your definition.
There's
what's that?
It depends on your definition. Cyberpunk sure seems like it released in early access.
Well, yeah.
Do you want to pay like $70 so you get access to the game before everybody else?
Some people do. Some people are willing to pay $120 to get access 5 days early. So
right, yeah. So Mind's Eye. A lot of people didn't think that game was finished, and there it is, available for purchase.
And you liked that game, didn't you?
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
Paul Hine over on YouTube says, for example, Baldur's Gate 3, wildly different from when it first came out in early access to what it eventually released.
I did not play that
that-
early access, but I had heard that there wasn't dice rolls. You didn't have that thing going, if I remember correctly.
Really?
Yeah, or visible dice rolls.
Yeah.
But that's
That's
also
so much-
such a massive game.
Such a
that
part of the
there's-
fun.
Yeah, right.
Well, and a lot of these for these awards, they have to be nominated. So like if you know that you don't want to play, you know that it's early access or you're waiting for the perfect time to actually release your game, it's not getting nominated. But a lot of the games that I see that got awards are player's choice. And so the people are voting on them during early access. They think they're good enough to be already out there. And so if you release a bad game, you release a bad game.
Well, you just got done telling me how dumb everybody is. 30 minutes ago.
That was CB. That's optimistic about the intelligence of.
Well, he thinks all the
humanity.
dumb people are going to die.
Yeah. No, he wants them to die. That's different.
I didn't say I wanted them to die. It's going to sort themselves out.
He wouldn't.
If I wanted them to die, it
cry.
means more work for me.
Yeah.
I think what's interesting about these is that there are different kinds of early access games. There are some early access games that I've played that feel more like an alpha than an early access game. And then there are some early access games that feel like they're done. So there's a vast, I don't feel like it's hard cut and dried as to what we're talking about, because it really is a case-by-case scenario on how far the game is. Galactic Glitch, which I talked about multiple times on this show, that game was in a fully playable state at early access. They've made some tweaks to it, but it's more quality of life things, and they've tweaked the formula of upgrades and things a bit, but by and large, the game was completely playable. It plays more or less the same as it did in early access. Again, there are some major differences, but in that case, I would consider that game to be allowed to be considered at early access. Now, Kevin purchased for me as a gift a Vampire Survivors clone that it's one of those where you go into it and they only have one character available right now, and there's only one stage available. It's like they've just got a base game set up and they're building the rest of it around that. That's nowhere near done. So I feel like that's a completely different experience, because the game's not there's still so much more to be done in the core gameplay of that.
Right. Maybe if you have the audacity to charge full price while you're in early access, like a Hades 2 or a No Rest for the Wicked, maybe that's when you get considered all your Game of the Year awards, accolades.
I didn't know they charge full price for those. That's just
because you have the balls to be like, you're getting the privilege of playing early, basically, and helping us.
In my mind, early access is you're basically beta testing this. You're going to get a discount on the game.
That's usually the case.
It's like stealing all my answers here.
Sorry, CB, please start talking.
All right, CV, go ahead, man.
I was going to say, how about companies stop being giant turds and
Wow.
using this as
Do you need a hug, man? You're
dude,
having a day.
well,
Air hug.
we're basically paying for the privilege to be beta testers,
Right.
which
Or the excitement of getting a new Prince of Persia roguelike, and you'll pay whatever it takes to get in on that.
Oh, no,
You know?
I'm past the I want a complete polished game.
Mhm.
I'm in the camp. I would rather wait than sit here and be like, cool, like I can.
But there's nothing else to play, CV.
Shut up.
We have not gotten a game that with 0 updates in 10 years.
I mean,
What?
you're not
It does.
wrong.
It does.
At launch. Again, they did not have any updates.
Correct.
Every
even,
game with their day
even
one patch.
AAA titles still have updates. They still update in some form, and so you're still playing early access games even with AAA titles. They're still getting updated. They're still
That's what
doing
I'm saying,
balances.
like-
They're still doing corrections. They're still doing things even after the 1.0 release of a AAA title. So what's the point?
That's why I said I hope companies just stop being turds and give us like a finished game. Let it cook a little longer, man.
I don't think it's necessarily them being turds. I'm gonna play devil's advocate for a
No,
second.
no.
Because
The people at the top of these companies are being turds, releasing games that they know
no, Scott, you're
aren't-
wrong. You disagree with me, so you're wrong. No, let me explain my answer for a second. I think that in some cases, this can be a legitimate business model because it is a way to test the waters and see what kind of reaction people get. Because if word spreads about a game in early access when they're offering it for a cheaper price, it will determine what kind of upgrades they're going to, how much work they're going to put into the final product. You know what I mean?
In other words, they're still being turds.
Most of the indie games that release in early access keep the same price when they do the 1.0 release, so you're not paying a better price.
That's news to
play
me.
the game.
I thought it was always in my mind, it was always a cheaper price in early access.
With AAA titles.
For most actual, like for the smaller indies, yeah, you're almost always getting a discount. Like Rogue Prince of Persia was on a discount; you buy it early. But for some of the bigger indies, like a Hades 2 or a No Rest for the Wicked, yeah, they know you're going to show up anyway, so why would they give you a discount? They know that you will get a huge pool of people who want to pay just to get it, in any way they can. So, why cut them a break if the market's not telling you need to?
I would rather see a company commit to the bit, just make the game, stay the course, put something out, than like, hey, we did this one thing and we're hoping that you'll like it in early access, but if you don't, we're going to take it away. And some of you are going to be mad that we did, and then some of you are going to be mad that we didn't. It's just the most like fence post style marketing I've ever seen.
I mean, you could have said the same thing about. Okay, let me read this comment from Sean Coates really quick. He says, Starship Troopers Extermination is a great example of what Scott is saying. It was in early access for a long time. Then 1.0 came out, and they're still adding modes and campaigns and maps to the game. Yes, that's in the olden days. That kind of thing happened with DLC, right? That's not.
So what makes the 1.0 different than any other update, even though it's in early access?
Let the man speak.
Why
or not?
No, I was because I was thinking of his answer and like I was thinking of his response. But I mean, yeah, like we back in like the 360 and PS3 era, when that happened, you got DLC and you had to pay for it. So you're actually paying more for something.
Right.
This is a model where you're actually offered to pay less for it, but it's a gamble because you don't know if it's going to be something that you want to play. It's not out early enough for people to have reviewed it. There's not a demo. We want to see how you like this. We want to see if it's worth us doing these expensive upgrades or if it's good enough, if the word of mouth is going to carry this or whatever.
You're basically saying like, hey, we want you to play this right now and early, and we're going to decide whether or not we finish the game.
Not necessarily finish the game. Well, I mean, that does happen. There are some that just never saw the light of day, but not necessarily are they going to finish the game, but to what degree are they going to finish the game? Are we going to put this texture pack in there? Are we going to add orchestral music? Are we going to do voice acting? Are we going to do all these extra touches that would have been a massive gamble and could have put us into bankruptcy, especially for an independent developer, by making those decisions early on? This allows people to test the waters a little bit and see what kind of interest they're going to get in it. That's not just this game's been wishlisted 500,000 times.
And companies are wondering why their products are getting review bombed.
Can you give an example of an early access game that got review bombed?
I mean, I'm willing to bet there's a few of them. I don't know any specifically off the top of my head because I don't play a lot of the early access games.
I mean, No Rest for the Wicked got hit pretty hard, but that was true. Like they made decisions around some of the mechanics, and it went down to like a mixed rating for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what we're talking about?
I don't remember.
I lost the thread a little bit, to be honest with you.
Jake and I were talking about this. Like that's essentially what happened to Skull and Bones. They're like, hey, like we're gonna like release this game, and it's gonna be there, but it's not finished. And like I was really hyped for that game, and I played the demo, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, on launch where it's not going to be complete still."
I mean, that's a situation where I played that beta or whatever, and I had no interest in going back to that game after that. That kind of backfired on them because what they released in early access, which wasn't really early access, it was a beta demo, was so incomplete that even players really struggled to see the vision of what that game could have been, or what they wanted that game to be. I think in our minds, when Skull and Bones first released, maybe I'm alone on this, but when that thing came out, I thought it was going to be the the naval portion of Assassin's Creed, and that's it. It wasn't going to be a what's the one on Xbox Game Pass, the pirate game where you go around.
Sea of Thieves.
Yeah, Sea of Thieves. And I feel like Skull and Bones turned into that, instead of just give me the naval portions of Assassin's Creed as a full single player game, which is all I wanted, because I love those parts. And then they put it out there, and then people realize, oh, this is a live service game. This is a team up with your friends and do all this.
Like right there, like it's like I can already feel my blood pressure rising. Stop with the live service crap.
I mean, there's a reason they keep doing it, man, because they make money. People,
they
people
seem
like
to be
them.
They seem to be learning that it's not guaranteed money, right? Like Concord, for example, or some more cancellation, or PlayStation canceling a bunch of their live service efforts. So yeah, they're learning.
Just make a multiplayer game, or like a single player game. Like, we don't need every game does not need to be a live service game.
Sure. But now we're moving away from the topic of early access. So.
But here's the thing. A lot of the early access games are these live service games. Games that need to constantly be evolving to stay relevant.
Possibly. Yeah. Aaron Hughes has another comment. He says, welcome to game testing, Scott. Here's some things we put together. No, it's not finished. Yes, there are bugs and stuff is broken. Help us test it out. I love early game testing. And that's kind of a fun way to look at it. It makes those of us
not a fun way,
huh?
Not a fun way to look at it.
No,
you think it is a fun way to look at it?
I didn't think he was being facetious with that comment. I thought he legitimately liked being part of it.
Oh, I thought it was a testament to you're basically paying for the privilege of being an employee.
Well, no, I think the way that they're selling it, these devs and publishers are selling it, is you get to be part of the process. You get to play it, and give us feedback. I mean, a lot of these early access games, and he did confirm that he does love testing, but he doesn't pay for early access.
If you love game testing, like that's all for you. But like that's the problem, is I don't want to do that. Right. I know I don't have as much time to sit here.
Well, you don't have to, man. You're not a PC gamer anyway. You play mostly on consoles.
I play a fair amount on PC now. I have a gaming laptop and I have my Ally, both of which play Steam games.
Hey, you called it by the right name.
I was just thinking that.
But that's the problem, is like, again, like, because I know you have it as much as I do. Like, you feel like you're missing out if you're not in the know on some of these games, but you're like, man, I don't want to sit here and play a buggy like pile of crap.
Yeah, but we're also like in our late 30s or early 40s, and we don't have the time. But if you're like in your early 20s and you're into games, if you were in your 20s right now, this would be a thing you'd probably be more interested in getting your hands on and trying things and making yourself feel important, because you get to give feedback to the developers. I'll admit, it feels kind of cool when I report a bug to a developer and they say, hey, thanks for that, we appreciate that, and then the next patch that thing is gone that I talked about. Even if it's not necessarily just me that found it, probably several people found it, it still feels cool. It feels like you're part of the process.
How many times have we talked about these companies laying off like their entire QA departments, though, or beta testing departments? This is why, because we're supporting it. Fight me on it.
So
I'm saying that's
there are two things going on here, though. For one, we're comparing indie games to AAA titles, and so AAAs will have beta tests. You get the players involved, they do a little game testing, they figure out where the bugs are. Okay, indie developers have early access. Basically, it's an under construction sign. This game is still in development. We are working on it. Just, tell us what's going on. It's a labor of love, which a lot of these are, where AAA titles will then release and then still have errors because they didn't do enough early access, pre-game development or find bugs or whatever. Red Dead Redemption, the first one, released with over 2,000 bugs because they did not play test their game enough, or they did not find enough bugs. But then they expected people to basically find those bugs for them and fix them when they could, if they wanted to. And so, yeah, the development process of the two styles of games, indie versus AAA, are vastly different.
But I mean, some of the AAAs are putting out these early access games.
Like what?
Not a lot of them. Well, again, early access when it comes to video games for a AAA developer are just like buy the games 3 days early. Okay, that's their version of early access.
Well, I don't think anybody is confusing those two things. In honesty,
you're getting the same experience that you are 3 days later.
Well, yes, but the sole purpose of their early access is not to test the game. It is to get you.
Yeah. It just happens that way.
Well, you're paying extra. Yeah, I think it's.
No,
I mean, it's a different thing.
I get where Jake's going with that.
It is not the purpose to make you test the game. It's to get you to buy the game early. You're in the know. You're.
I guess I don't even think
special
of that
privilege.
Well, yeah.
Whereas if you are an indie developer, I have indie games that have been in development or in early access for years.
It's a business strategy to prey on FOMO.
They're still under the indie games are still under construction, basically.
Right.
And that's their early access. But that's also why the price usually doesn't change, is because you bought the game here for $20 and it was garbage. And now that it's 2 years later, we're selling the game same price, but now it's finished.
Well, and I mean, some of it is the nature of the beast with gaming.
Because I swear, dude, most of the early access games I look into mention that they're going to raise the price afterwards. I just want to say that I don't think it's the majority are having the one price thing.
Oh, yeah, most of the indie developers that I see on Steam don't raise their prices.
Interesting. We're seeing different versions of Steam.
I know when I first did a Kerbal Space Program, like way back in the day, it was like you pay $10 now. When the game launches, you'll get the full thing.
Right. Well, it was Minecraft's model famously, right?
Yeah. I paid $12 for Minecraft.
Yeah.
and I mean, I understand that some of it is the nature of the beast. Like over time, these games just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So like and the model changes too. Like, I mean, the early access itself is a different business model. And then that model is going to get iterated on as we go, and maybe for the better, maybe for the worse. There's no cut and dried thing here. We have gotten so far off the core of this. I think
the most compelling argument so far, I think Jake made, where games are changing so much anyway that it's hard to. It feels like it's almost an arbitrary decision when you decide when something qualifies for Game of the Year, because like Star Wars Outlaws, right, would have been in for contention last year, but by 6 months later, into the next year, it's a totally different game now.
I have heard people talk so highly of that game when they were kind of mediocre on it last year.
Like core mechanics have changed. Like it is not the same game it was at launch. So it was up for all of its awards accolades before it became good. But I get, but then that's their fault for releasing early. But then you get punished as a consumer because you paid $60 when you told it was done, but it wasn't. And we
created a whole awards category for that, like best redemption, basically.
Yeah, but the best ongoing game, I hate that award. It annoys me.
Yeah, I've got
that ongoing game just bothers me.
I mean, best we pooped on your rug, but don't worry, we cleaned it up later. Award goes to.
Call it what it is, huh?
Yeah.
All right, so let's see what the community said about the actual release dates, because that was actually the core thing of the comment here. I was awesome. I love how that just kind of turned into is early access good or not? But we wanted to talk about what year should they be released. Brandon Smith over on Facebook says, well, there's only one official release date for a game, right?
If only that were the case.
No.
Yeah.
No, there's 17. Minimum of 17 now.
Yeah. I mean, like we were talking earlier, any AAA release now has a guaranteed 2 different release dates.
No. Well, there's an announced date, and then there's a delayed date, and then there's
but I'm saying
it's not
there's the day where the people who paid extra get to play it, and then there's the one for all the peasants get to play it 5 days later.
Mm-hmm.
Peasants.
Yeah.
Well, you
were only willing to pay $70 for this game, so like Death Stranding 2, dude. I think that one was one of the worst because it's such a story-heavy game,
and
they really let people play it early over the weekend. That's so crappy, dude.
I can't wait to start playing this on Tuesday.
That sucks. Like it's basically just like, yeah, if you don't pay the $20, you got to pay the $20 avoid the spoiler tax.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good way to look at it.
That's so scummy.
Again,
I
we're
mean,
talking
even-
about a AAA game.
No, I know.
But
I
he's
was
talking
saying
about
official
But
release dates.
even when with indie games, you know, they have a release date and then you get to the 1.0 and they make it this huge deal and that's their new release date. It even changes on Steam.
Mhm.
You're right.
And so there's no, you know, in the release date section, there's no was originally released here and now released here. So now I'm like, I have a game called Planet Crafter. That game has been out for I think about 5 years, and they just went 1.0 last year, and so now their new release date is last year. So in 5 more years, people will look back and go, "Oh, they released here, but it's actually been in development for over 10 years."
Mhm.
So, I mean,
So
but
it
now
all
they're up, but now they're up
talking
for
it
Game
out.
of the Year and they're on their 1.0. Like,
talking it out really does make it all just feel pretty arbitrary, huh?
It does.
It
It
is.
feels like it's like impossible to actually answer and give a definitive answer, and not just
Right.
because we all have different opinions, but because there just doesn't seem any definitive answer. There's there's no right or wrong.
Maybe the 1.0 date, that's the developer or publisher finally being like, okay, now we want to be considered for awards. Now we're done. We promise. Even though we're
That
going to
doesn't seem fair.
even though we're going to change it for the next 3 years.
Yeah.
This
But, I mean-
is when we would like to be considered.
but again, that's even when, you know, you have a AAA title, it releases and you go, "Hey, we want to have rewards and stuff, but we're going to keep changing the game for the next 5, 7 years." And then finally they're like, "Well, we can't do anything more with this game. It's whatever."
You know
and then they stop doing updates.
Because of the way you just put that, Zach, I am now changing my answer to, if you want to be considered for the Game of the Year awards, the moment the general public has access to play your thing, that is your launch.
Yep.
So
That's
if you
really
launched a turd, congrats, you're stuck with a turd.
But it would have to be like developers' discretion. Like, honestly, if you know you're making a game that's nowhere near capable of reaching Game of the Year status, you understand that you're not in the running for Game of the Year.
But at the same time, this is going to sound kind of mean, but like, does Game of the Year really even matter anymore?
I mean,
We're all talking about it.
I bet it matters to the people.
I mean, unless you're Jeff Keighley.
No, I mean, I think if you're a developer and your game gets Game of the Year, that's a big deal.
Yeah, I'm sure that, who gave it was Asherbot won Game of the Year last year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, I'm sure they're pretty stoked about it.
Right.
Yeah, but I mean, with the way like the market is anymore, like, yeah, go ask 90% of the people, "Hey, do you remember what last year's Game of the Year award was?"
Mm-hmm.
They're like,
Astrobot.
we know because we reported on it. But you go talk to like anybody in a GameStop, they're gonna be like, "I have no clue. I don't care."
Right, but they probably do get a small bump. Much
I
like,
mean,
like an Oscar Best Picture gets a small bump.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but that's why we're here, right? It's because like there are casual players who don't know this stuff, and we
Right.
are the experts, and we are supposed to know this stuff.
It-
and so you go ask.
To
Well,
me,
that's what,
like,
but if you go ask 90% of the players, 90% of the players are probably casual players.
Mm-hmm.
They
I
don't
mean,
know the ins and outs of every game that comes out or the awards or any of that kind of stuff.
we all cheer for it because we want to see that game, but it's sad that it felt like it used to mean something.
Really?
that
Man,
is
to be able to put on the box Game of the Award winner like that's like a Nintendo seal of quality from the 90s, right?
Yeah, I think it means something for sure.
I mean,
but anymore,
PlayStation
just-
Game of the Year editions, right?
Sure. Well,
There is not a
I
video
like
game
this.
podcast that I listen to that does not talk about.
I understand that, but I'm saying to the majority of the gaming community, is it really going to affect whether or not you're going to buy something or not?
To me, no. I don't care that it won last year.
Yes,
do-
I'm sure. I feel like it does. Yes, I feel like much like a casual audience sees a Best Picture Oscar winner and then therefore gets a little bit more intrigued. That yes, I'm sure that it absolutely does help. Most people, maybe the casual people were tuning in for the trailers, see the Game of the Year winner, go, oh, maybe I'll check that out.
Yeah, what was the
Yes,
the one that
definitely
won Best Picture last year? The one about the escort. I can't remember the name of it.
Anora?
Anora. I never would have watched that if it hadn't won Best
I
Picture.
didn't even know because I stopped watching the Oscars.
Dude, that movie's so
Well, it's a
good.
whole- other argument. That was a crazy movie. That is worth watching.
Yeah, that's great.
Very brutal for an Oscar winner. Like I did not expect that to go in the directions that it did. But anyway, let's go to the next comment. CB.
Let's see. It's Mark Szymanski.
Mm-hmm.
The 1.0 year. I think of it like a movie. If the trailer hits in 2024, it's not eligible for the Academy Awards for the 2024 year. Nope. Until the movie comes out in 2025.
I don't remember who agreed with him. I forgot to put the name.
Ditto with what Mark said, and remasters shouldn't be eligible either. I will agree with that. A remaster, no. A remake, yes.
Agreed.
Right. The one we always go to is Resident Evil 2.
Yes.
That was one of the definitive remakes that stands out to me.
For sure.
So with this argument, when you're playing a game in early access, you're playing the game. You can play almost the entire game, and maybe you can play the entire game depending on how far the development process is. Compared to a movie trailer, you're watching the trailer for 5 minutes, and then that's supposed to, whatever. But I mean,
but percentage-wise, it might be the same amount of early access content you're getting.
But I mean, are you going to sit down and watch the movie over and over and over again as they develop new parts?
No. What if that 10% is the main story, and then 90% is just side missions?
You remember that whole debacle?
Which debacle?
The Snyder Cut.
Oh yeah.
Like everybody complained about that thing, and then they made it happen. Look at the Sonic. Remember when the trailer for Sonic came out? Everybody freaked out about what that looked like.
Good example.
And then they went back and fixed it and redid the entire movie.
Changed development.
Changed development of that film because of a trailer.
I want the Snyder cut of the Sonic movie. I want the original.
Oh, dude, his take on Shadow would be awesome.
You want the Joss Whedon version? It sounds like
what you want to see.
No.
All right, Zach, you want to take the next one?
Sure. Thomas Bex writes in the year it's released in early access. The game is fully playable. It has if it has bugs or not, it doesn't matter. They shouldn't have released it in early access. Once it's available and you can buy it, it's released, no matter what state it is in.
Perfect.
Well, yeah, let's echoes Jacob's sentiments for sure.
It's gonna be a whole new award category. The game that released with like the least amount of bugs.
I'm telling you.
Or is that going to be a category in the future?
The cleanest game of the year.
Where it is. Valheim actually in 2022 got best debut.
Is that what they're calling it? Is best debut? No, that's just like best new IP, basically, is what that's saying, right? That's not saying like which game released with the fewest amount of bugs.
Best new non-turd.
I mean, it's the entire award is best debut and audience award. And so it came out and was really well received. So it got that one. And that was by the Game Developers Choice Awards.
Okay. Jake, you want to read the next one?
Oh, where are we at? Oh, sure. I get the big one. Okay. Oh, this is perfect. Aaron Hughes II writes, the year of 1.0 release, period. Early access, it appears to me, has become a way for devs to expand their QA resources, whether due to not having them initially or wanting a larger test pool. I was a member of numerous alpha beta tests over the years, and what happened when those were finished? Full release. The industry has changed the name, offering the game to the public. In most cases, not all early access is totally open, and in a lot of cases currently to bring in money, early access, then full release in. In regards to remasters mentioned previously, it depends on how in-depth it is. If it's just a re-release with newer hardware, then it would seem silly to me for it to be eligible in Game of the Year lists. But more changes than just graphically, I'd say it would fit in. Again, no. You're doing beta tests is what you're testing it before it ever gets released to the public. No, beta tests should not be allowed to be viewed on, but it does get released to the public. People are talking about it. People do vote on it. And so, yeah, they are completely an early access release should absolutely be taken into consideration.
I gotta say this. I know you guys are not gonna like this response.
Am I gonna walk away?
You might. Somebody's going to walk away. Someone's going to get mad at me for saying this. But this whole idea of a company instead of having QA testers and doing it early access, from a business standpoint, why would you pay someone to do a job when someone's going to pay you to do it? I'm not
Right.
saying it's right, but from a business standpoint, why wouldn't you go for the cheaper route, for the safer route that's going to
Sure.
give you options?
I mean, it's just like, yeah, why wouldn't you charge $50 for the Goku skin because everyone's going to pay for it?
Right.
Yeah. No, but
Like,
yeah, business. Yeah,
That,
that's a business job. Yeah.
that's part of their job is to research this stuff and figure out what things are working. And when someone looks at that model and says, hey, instead of paying these guys 20, 25 bucks an hour, we'll just give some people in the public early access to us and they're going to pay us. That's going to help us pay the capital. That's like a full swing of that money because they're not paying the QA. They're getting money and they're getting this done. I'm not mad at that.
No, that's perfectly fine. But when you have like a closed beta test that's specifically given to a certain amount of people that can't do whatever, that's not the public. But when you have an early access game that's given to the public, the whole world sees it.
Well, and that's Aaron Hughes' point right here. He says the point he was trying to make, a bigger test pool. In-house testers are good at what they do, but it's literally impossible for them to catch everything. I mean, again, I feel like he's agreeing with me. He says, and he goes on to say, not to mention the ridiculous amount of different hardware combinations out there that cause different reactions to the games. There's so many things to look at, and the world is a different place in terms of game development than it was. Again, we keep straying away from.
No, it's the same argument. It's just how it's handled by different things.
Right. I'm just saying I'm not against it. I'm not mad at the idea of a business making that decision because it makes more financial sense. It gets the game in more people instead of just in-house. It's cost effective and it allows them to make decisions for a game based on reactions and feedback that they get from people that are trying out the game.
Yeah, but at the same time, like it could completely decimate your game. Like if you release it too early and people just sit there and flame your game online.
Well, any decision you make is going to be make your game live or die.
It doesn't feel like flaming a game matters. As long as you come out with an update that people like, none of it matters.
No Man's Sky.
Yeah. Nobody cares about
it's proven. I mean, like Zach is saying, it's
No Man's Sky came out 1.0, released it full, no early access. They hated it. Everyone hated it. Throughout the years, with the updates, it's gotten better. It's
become a favorite. People are still playing it.
But what if they released early access as whatever they are, whether it's an indie or a AAA title, they release early access. It comes out, people hate it. Oh, well, it's just an early access. They give it 2 or 3 years and they release 1.0. Now that's a new release date. Now everyone loves it because that's a new release date. They should have been, it's not a closed beta test, but it's actually, early access. It's the same early access that indie developers take to get responses and all that kind of stuff while the game is actually still released and still able for them to make money. And that should almost be the argument there. If you can make money off the game, you can have it criticized. You can have it voted on.
That's a really good point. If you're making money on the game, then it should be considered for that year.
Yeah.
That you might have just sold me on that, dude, honestly, with that point.
He made that exact point earlier.
But it didn't sink in with
me. Zach's always thinking about the money
until he said it that way. Okay. Like the way he just like wrapped that up and put a bow on it for me, kind of sold me.
Okay.
Yeah. I like that. Let's see. Next comment comes from Sean Coates. He says, I don't think early access games should get any award recognition unless it's something like most promising game. Don't give him more ideas, Sean. We don't need more award categories. They're basically playable test demos. Leapfrogging off of what Mark Szymanski's movie analogy, early access games are like test screening versions of films. It's a rough cut shown to audiences so the studio can make changes, reshoots, re-edits based on feedback. I actually attended a test screening once for the second Hitman film adaptation. Not the one with Timothy Olyphant. It was clearly an unfinished cut with a placeholder effects and out-of-sync audio. No awards body would ever consider that version for Best Picture, and the same logic should apply to early access titles. Oh my God, now he's changing my mind. Well, oddly enough, I've never got around to watching the final version of Hitman. Ask yourself this question. Would Lord of the Rings have won Best Picture if they if they just use Andy Serkis's raw mocap performance instead of a fully rendered Gollum.
I mean, it's
To-
Andy Serkis, so probably.
To Jake's point, no, they don't ask you to pay for the privilege of seeing a test screening.
That is the key point. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're asked to come to do that. You just have to pay. You have to pay for your popcorn.
I
So,
love you,
okay.
Sean, but
Sometimes they give you
in
money.
what universe would a Hitman movie ever be considered for Best Picture?
Oh, come on. He's making a point. Don't.
No. Dude, if
So I got 2 points to this real quick. I don't think early access games should be any award recognition. Fortnite. I hate Fortnite with a passion. And yet when that game released, it released in early access. It was in early access for 3 years. And within the 3 years, it won 4 awards.
Mm-hmm.
It was in early access. If that was a thing, it should never have gotten an award.
And see, there's another
And there
part,
are
like,
a lot of games that win awards in early access.
Fortnite was free. So because technically with it being free, they never charged for it. So can you consider it for a game of the year with it being free?
well,
So
the actual early access part of it you paid for, right? The
Yes.
defense mode.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
Which
the thing that was
wasn't-
that became popular, you don't.
So the reason why I hate Fortnite so much is because they
It's garbage.
offered, well, yes, but they offered the Save the World pack for money. And then they offered a beta test for free. And when they found out that the beta was what people wanted to play, they changed the whole model of the game and put the Save the World on a back burner. And that's why it took 3 years to come out. I don't actually,
So all the
I
people
don't-
that paid money got punished for supporting
Yes.
the
Right.
developer.
I'm,
Yeah, 'cause-
I'm
oh,
pretty
yeah, you
sure.
paid-
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
because you paid basically for them to develop a game that you weren't at all promised or interested in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that
Because
is
it was
pretty
it was a founder's
Yeah.
pack that you paid for.
Yeah. No, I hadn't thought about it from that angle before. It's pretty crazy that they got away with that, huh?
Also,
Yeah.
No Man's Sky, even before it was released in the bad condition that it released in, won an award before as the most anticipated game. So even
that's because
before
we
it
were
was-
literally promised the sun, the moon, and the stars.
Dude, yeah.
It doesn't matter. The game wasn't even released. Even by industry standards, 1.0 or
Right.
below, it got most anticipated game.
Yeah,
It
why
won an
wouldn't it?
award,
Yeah, you were anticipating it.
but
It wasn't out yet.
I understand the name of the award, but I'm saying if a game can win most anticipated, but it can't be in early access, like, come on.
You could say that most anticipated means we've just waited the longest. Didn't really want it. We've just been waiting a really long time.
Elder
for this to
Scrolls
come
6, I'm looking at you.
out. Yeah, well, man.
Yeah,
I
I'm
mean,
good and evil too.
that was one hell of a splash screen, though. Come on. All right, CB, you want to read the next one from Doc?
Doc Sampson, this isn't even a question for me. Early access games can be many things, but a finished product isn't one of them. A game can get canceled, change completely, add or remove modes, and so on. To say that a game in the middle of development should count for awards before it's done sounds pretty silly to me, especially because it's possible it may not even come out. The analogies here are plentiful. The aforementioned movies, music, TV shows, books, you name it. Would any of these things be added to an awards list based on a rough draft of a story or a demo of a song? Of course not. If common sense prevails, it should be a landslide in favor of no way.
Let me ask you a question.
Concord.
How many AAA titles have added or removed game modes after their release?
Concord.
Boom, mic drop. It happens all
Concord
the time.
removed entirely.
No,
Right.
Yeah. I mean, make a compelling argument.
With the way that the gaming industry is set up now.
Mhm.
Even when AAA titles release, they are still not finished products. They are still getting worked on.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Any game that has a day one patch should be shot.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still in favor of they shouldn't count, but you've made a very compelling argument throughout.
Hey, Zach, can you read
Okay.
the next one? Because I think this is interesting. We actually have a developer perspective.
Alan Sheck
Yeah.
writes in, from the perspective of a developer with a game in early access, I put my game out in early access because it's playable and people have fun with it. I'm not exactly a AA or AAA studio seeking consideration of the Game Awards, but I would hate for someone to make a final judgment about it as a finished product until I put the 1.0 stamp on it. So my vote is not for putting them into the consideration until the full release. That being said, I can see how it would be hard for the awards to withhold consideration on a highly popular game simply because of its release status. Regardless, it should definitely be one or the other, not both.
The only thing I would say to that is that Are we basing Game Awards on popularity or quality? Do you understand what I mean by that? Like, just because everybody's talking about a game,
it's popularity, right? What else would it be?
Bellator almost won.
If
It's
it was
popularity.
If it was popularity, then Call of Duty would win every year.
You're right. I guess it is the popularity of the in group, right? Like the voting board.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Everything's
like
popularity contest.
If it was just a straight popularity contest, every year it'd be like, okay, the new Call of Duty wins,
fair. No,
and Fortnite wins every other award.
You're absolutely right. That's why you do need a committee. I agree with that. I mean, I guess you need only look at the community vote every year, the Game Awards, and see all the gotcha games on there to know that not everybody should be curating the list.
Yeah, I mean, and who knows how it's done, right? Like, whatever Academy or board or whatever.
How many
people
hands
are
were
there?
greased with a stack of cash?
Well,
but
Adam ruins everything to the whole thing on the Oscars. Remember that?
I mean,
no, I don't.
It was kind of proven to be a little bit right.
Yeah.
Some of the movies that won of Oscars should never have won Best Picture.
Sure.
Crash on there. I like Crash, but not like movie of the year. Like, it was an interesting thing, but I feel like that one, because of the statement it was making and its cultural relevance more than quality of the movie.
A cop sexually assaulted a woman in that movie and was later forgiven by her.
Yeah,
and like a day later.
Yeah,
I'm just saying. I don't know. That tone might have been a little. That movie might have been a little tone deaf. That's what I'm trying to say.
Well, could you imagine that movie coming out now?
It wouldn't.
No, dude. I mean, that's what I keep. Whenever I'm playing Mafia 3, I keep thinking like, dude, this game would be all over the
it'd be
culture wars.
Out.
Yeah, crashed out.
All right, Jake, you're up.
AJ Fletch 27 over on Fuse says, I don't know, man. I think early access ruins the experience for most titles. If you played early access, then the 1.0 is way less exciting. I can count on one hand how many early access games I actually went back to once 1.0 released. First impressions are everything with video games. I agree.
I actually do somewhat agree with this comment, because like Rogue Prince of Persia is about to enter 1.0 in just a few weeks, and like it's a new Prince of Persia game. I should be buzzing with excitement, but I am not. I was like, oh, neat. It's finally done.
Oh, neat.
Yeah.
But again, that's what I was saying. You have these early access games that you play for 4 or 5 years, and then the 1.0 release is just another Tuesday.
Right. Yeah. It's just like the next update. Also, I didn't.
It does feel like just a patch or upgrade. Like, all right, it doesn't feel like a 1.0. It feels like a 2.5.
It's kind of like, oh, now I'm allowed to see the ending. Good news.
Yeah. But I mean, I disagree on some hand, because I mean, the one game I've already talked about, but I got the 1.0 release and I'm back at it.
Yeah,
that's all I want to be playing right now.
I'm sure as soon as I pick it up in 1.0, I will be as addicted as I was when I first picked it up. I'm saying that like that wave of anticipatory excitement that you get with a new game, it doesn't hit the same way, I don't think.
I get that.
It does kind of distract you, because if you've already played through it in the early access version and there's something else that comes out, I'm going to bypass the game that I already played for the shiny new.
Sure.
That makes sense. That comes back to the first impression aspect of it.
But I mean, Scott, are you still playing that? The 1.0 release is the Galactic Glitch game, right?
Yes.
How different is that than when you played it?
Like I said earlier, the core gameplay is the same, but they've changed mechanically. The upgrade path feels different. The dialogue and there's actually a little bit more of a story. There are moving parts in there that are going there, but the core stuff is the same. But it was also not broken. It played fine in early access. It's just, I feel like everything they've done feels more like a polish instead of a fix, if that is a good way to describe it.
Yeah.
We all got another comment on Fuse from Samuel Ryan Lilly, who says, I think more serious games of the year list would have to categorize it differently, like best early access game of the year. I think for individuals, it's totally up to them if they want to count it for the early access or the 1.0 launch. Likely that would depend on whenever they first played it, as you only get one first impression. Which also brings up another interesting question. Should later versions count towards game of the year lists as well? If a 1.0 version game came out 1 year, but in a different year 2.0 released and made it better or worse, should that be factored into the equation? After all, we're in a time where some people are counting DLC as game of the year candidates, and also a time where games are ever changing with each patch thanks to the internet age. The game I played this year might not be the same thing someone else plays 3 years down the road, despite it technically being marketed and sold as the very same. It's a little scary, if I'm honest. That's a really well thought out comment. There's a lot to unpack there. I mean, the DLC thing has always bugged me. That we do DLC.
It only happened the one time.
Um,
The Elden Ring Shadow of the Earth Tree. When else has a DLC been nominated as Game of the Year?
that's a good point. Yeah.
Certainly not at the Game Awards. I mean, it is super dumb that it was nominated. Don't get me wrong.
But I think it's more or less like how many other situations has it been where something that was basically should have been a DLC got released as a full game?
I don't know.
That's Far Cry 5.
Well, no one was nominated that for Game of the Year though.
Yeah.
Well, I know, but
Talk about New Dawn.
New Dawn should have just been a DLC.
Yeah.
Ooh, hold on.
But I mean, there are some DLCs like, remember the one for BioShock 2, where you actually went, or it was BioShock 2, where like you went to Rapture. There was like more story about
BioShock Infinite.
Oh, it's Infinite.
Burial at Sea.
Yeah, which was like a standalone thing that used the same engine and all that, but it was not even in the same setting. Now, I'm not going to say that game deserved to be in a Game of the Year list.
Every Fallout one, like Fallout the Pit, like it's not the same setting. Far Harbor, not the same setting.
Man, how great were those DLCs though?
Far Harbor should have just been its own thing.
That was good.
Okay,
all right.
So actually going to the comment real quick, I'm going to go back to Valheim. So
Valheim.
I almost corrected you earlier, but then someone in the chat
did. If I'm doing it wrong, correct me. I didn't see the chat. Sorry, chat. I didn't see you. Anyway,
he's cooked.
Valheim. Yeah. Don't say that. Anyway, it was actually named Game of the Year by PC Gamer in 2021, while it was still in early access, and now it's going to go for Valheim.
Okay.
But now it's going to go for a 1.0 release in 2026. So is that going to be up for Game of the Year? Because it's probably going to be at a different award show.
Do you really think that game's going to get nominated?
Probably not. But hey, you never know.
But it could be.
I guess it shouldn't be nominated at PC Gamer again.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah.
All right, we got 3 more. CB.
Before we move on, that actually brings up another point. If a game is released on PC only, but then gets later released on console, can it be reconsidered for Game of the Year because of a console version?
No.
Could be a completely different game.
I mean, it's just a port at that point, right?
No,
not necessarily.
It's a completely different game. Oh, if it's been upgraded, it's the same argument. It's just that you're doing it on another console.
I know.
So what? No Man's Sky is going to be up again now that it's on the Switch.
I guess. It came out on the Switch too.
If you run a Nintendo only website, then maybe you would have some room there. But otherwise, no, I don't think anybody would be trying to pull a slick move like that.
Aaron Hughes port awards.
Any port in the storm award.
Oh.
See, I don't want to give them any more ideas for doing more awards. I mean, it's one thing for like little shows like us to do. Like, I think we've got goofy categories in ours, right? Like
Jeff Keighley's 24-hour gaming marathon award.
I mean, he doesn't even do all the categories he has now. I don't think we're in any danger of him adding more.
Yeah, right.
And even if he did, he would just run down the winner on the side real quick.
Yeah.
We're gonna have like super specific game categories.
All right,
bring Kojima in to give this one away.
CB, you're up.
Over on TikTok, we have Old Fool Gamer writing in. Good question. I suppose early access competing with finished product feels unfair and perhaps disingenuous with regards to the same category. I feel they should be separate categories.
I don't want to do another separate category.
It's coming. It's coming. Apparently.
Yeah.
What I mean is it fair to have indie titles go up against AAA titles?
Yes. Best indie game of the year.
I mean, it's like asking if it's fair that the Yankees get to go up against the Brewers.
Yeah, I mean, indie movies go up against big movies.
Yeah,
but I mean, isn't Claire Obscure almost indie?
It is
Sure,
indie.
but
Right.
indie books compete against big publisher novels. Like, yeah, no, I think they absolutely should compete.
Well,
And Aaron
what you're
makes a
gonna
good
have,
point. There is an indie awards, like a whole separate awards ceremony just for indie games.
Right.
what they're gonna start doing then is you're gonna have big companies like spinning off departments and being like, you're gonna make
Oh
an
man.
indie game now, so we can win this award as well.
You
I mean,
can't do both. You can't
what?
be. Yeah.
Kojima wants to have small teams of like 30 people or less. So
Oh my
he's gonna
God.
be considered indie.
Well, if Dave the Diver's considered indie, right?
Yeah, right. I
Isn't that a
remember
big
that.
old publisher.
But again, I didn't know that until I heard people
Right.
talk about that. I never would have known that
But
if it
the-
weren't like in the podcast circuit.
But then you look at something like Baldur's Gate 3. That's an indie game,
Good point. But it's also AAA indie.
but indie is indie, right? It's
What
independently
what do
financed
you
by the
mean by
developer.
triple A indie?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
In other words, somebody had a really fat wallet.
So it turns out that all definitions are becoming useless.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
What's
Zach,
the
you wanna
word
read the
you
next
use?
one?
Arbitrary.
Sure, arbitrary. That's a great word. Daddy Lolo writes in, early access is definitely a nebulous definition when it comes to describing how complete a game is. That being said, personally, if a game is fulfilling enough to compete for Game of the Year while not in 1.0, I think it's worth considering. I do think it probably shouldn't get nominated for second year after the official release. So another nebulous distinct.
Yeah.
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 And then lastly, Sir Goatsworth says, I mean, it can go either way. When it's solid and has you completely satisfied is when it makes a list. Could be right away, could need some time to cook via updates. Again, I'm kind of with Sir Goatsworth here. There's no definitive. It depends on the game. If this game feels complete enough, it can be considered. If it doesn't, then wait for the 1.0.
Does the story have an ending?
Can you roll credits?
Yeah.
You don't like that?
Some of those. So go on, CB.
I'm gonna make an artsy game for you now, Scott. It's gonna be title credits, end credits. There's your game. I want to be considered.
Will my save file be erased at some point during development?
Oh, that's a good point. Can I carry it on when,
Yeah.
because that didn't, again, come back to Galactic Glitch. My save got wiped.
Yeah,
I
I
just
didn't
got
know
the
that
whole
about
game.
early access game. I learned that the hard way with the games that I bought into.
I put a
didn't realize
lot
that.
of time into the early access.
Yeah,
version of that.
I was like, No Rest for the Wicked did that.
Mhm.
And that's what I was like, I'm not going to be checking out any updates until the game comes out now because I put so much time into that character
Right.
and now I can't. Now it's gone.
I mean, in the case of Galactic Glitch, like there's no way to do that because they restructured everything. There
Right.
would be no way to transfer it.
Yeah,
over.
I'm not arguing if it makes sense or not. I'm just saying for me, I'm like, oh boy, I burned that character. That kind of sucks.
Yeah.
I'll just wait for it to be done so that way I feel safe that when I'm designing and arranging my house that it'll be here.
Right. I got you.
Yeah.
Well, that was a great topic, guys. I did not expect it to get. I figured it would be heated, but I think we had a really good time here. And thanks for everybody that contributed in the chat. That was a lot of fun. Stay tuned to the socials for next week's topic. These guys want to talk about pop culture reference in games, and Zach is going to talk exclusively about Borderlands. It's all he's allowed to reference for the entire
Yeah,
episode.
dude.
No,
I
just
love
kidding.
Claptrap.
No, but this is one we talked about on our way down to VGS. And so, yeah, any references to pop culture and games, we're going to talk about those next week. So stay tuned. Be sure to get those answers in. But that's going to do it for this week's The Gaming Outsider. Thanks so much for listening. This episode was produced by Kevin Honigford, and all the music you hear is written and performed by Grant Henry of Stemage and Metroid Metal. His website, as always, is stemagemusic.com, STEMAGE music.com. Please be sure to email us if you have any questions or concerns. Our address is feedback@thegamingoutsider.com. Zach, you got any recommendations for us this week?
Yeah, I'm sure it'll probably be the round table recommendation, I assume, because just go watch Superman. It's awesome. It makes you feel good. It's certainly not perfect. There are some issues I have with it. However, it is an absolute delight. And Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor is somehow already the definitive Lex Luthor for me. Thought he was perfect, incredible, a true hater. I think this is a good first step for James Gunn's DCU. And you know what? Any movie that makes you want to be nice afterwards, I think, is a win.
I agree with you. And if you guys would like to hear some spoilery thoughts on it, I actually was a guest on the Hollywood Outsider podcast. That episode is available now. You can go check that out. Talk about that in depth. I had a lot of fun with it. I'm with Zach. What's that?
I was going to say my favorite part about listening to that spoiler cast from you, Scott, was that you said the same thing that always drove me crazy when you're actually on the Hollywood Outsider, that always made me want to punch a wall when you said it. But you sure as head stuck to your guns. You were like, no, I don't even read the comics, but
I did
every
not
time-
say that.
yes, you did,
I
Yes,
said I
you
don't
did.
have any connection to the character.
dude.
That's like
you
that's
made
like,
reference that you do not
quote
read comics.
adjacent.
Yes, he knew what he was doing.
So it's a remake of the same quote.
Yeah,
I liked it so
It
much that
exited
I.
early
Is it
access.
available for awards?
Oh my god, I liked it so much that I want to go take my wife to see it. I want to go see it again so that I can watch it with her because, well, plus I want to see the end.
Yeah.
We Jake and I went and saw it together, and we had a massive storm come through, and we missed like the last 10 minutes, which apparently there's some pretty cool stuff that I missed.
I don't care. That was the best day.
Oh my god, what a crazy day! All right, CB, what about you, man?
Superman was good, but since everybody's talking about that, I don't remember if I've talked about it here, but I also saw the new Jurassic World.
Yeah, I mentioned that last week too. Did you like it?
No,
No, I know you didn't.
Yeah,
No,
didn't look very
No.
promising.
So, are there going to be dinosaurs in your dinosaur movie?
I don't know how you say the word dinosaurs in that movie.
I saw a raptor for less than 30 seconds.
I actually appreciated that we weren't
and the
focused on
fact
raptors. That was
I only saw a
intentional.
T-Rex for like less than 2. When
No,
your
it was
star
more.
dinosaur is the big old Mosmosaurus.
You know, it doesn't have to be the same dinosaurs as the star in every freaking Jurassic movie. It can be a
The
different
lo-
dinosaur.
The logo of Jurassic Park is a T-Rex. Come on.
You can't throw out the logo.
I don't know. They haven't made a good Jurassic Park movie since like 2004.
I was a little underwhelmed by it. Like I'm still waiting for them to capture that first Jurassic Park like vibe again.
That can't happen.
I know, but I can keep hoping.
I say you're chasing a dragon that can't exist. It's stuck in amber somewhere, dude.
I know.
Jacob, what about you, man? Anything that you want to recommend?
So not any, I don't have any recommendations or whatever, but just 2 quick facts. I know Aaron is in the chat, and so Project Zomboid has been in early access since 2013. So
Holy cow!
12 years in early access, and they release constant updates for it, and they add new parts of the map and all that stuff. And it's for whatever reason, these people are outside of the United States, but they are basing the game in the United States and using maps from like actual maps from our country to make their game. So it's weird.
Right.
And another one, this upset me kind of. But Warframe, I enjoy Warframe. I like it. That's also released in 2013 and also still in early access because it's a Canadian-based game, but they're doing it for tax write-offs. Because in their taxes, as long as something is in development, they get a write-off. And so that game will never be out of early access.
Interesting. I got a song recommendation or band recommendation. A buddy of mine, actually, Kevin, our producer's brother-in-law, texted me from a show and said, Scott, you need to check out this band. You would like them. And I did, and he was absolutely right. This band is called Good Terms. It is a pop punk band, but they do a lot more than power chords that I'm used to with pop punk bands. They're very intricate, like Coheed style of intricacies. Really like it, but it's more pop punk, not super serious. The song that I am really digging is called Progress. Highly recommend that. I also have an audiobook recommendation. My brother recommended me that I listened to all in one go. It was only a 4-hour audiobook, but I listened to the entire thing. Older book, but for the first time I listened to Tuesdays with Maury. I don't know if you guys have heard of that book or
Yes.
read that book. It's a classic at this point, but it's more of a biography. It's about a guy that sits down with his old professor from college after when he's on his deathbed, and there's the conversations that they have together each Tuesday about life and how to what the meaning of life is and how to enjoy life. And it's just a really interesting introspective read or listen, and it's read by the author, and I thought that was really, really good. So highly recommend it, and thanks to my brother for checking that out. It's kind of made me think, and it's really good. So Tuesdays with Maury. All right, thanks to Jake, Chris, and Zach for being here. It's been awesome. Thanks for the discussions. Until next week, I'm Scott Clark with Zach Parkerson, Jacob Gunnarsson, and Chris Behrensmeyer, and we are The Gaming Outside. And remember, there's no such thing as a bad game, just games that aren't for you.